Hello, welcome in everybody. How are y'all doing today? We are live again and it is Sunday, a lovely Sunday. What better way to finish off the week? We're doing a nice stream and I don't have anything scheduled like a certain game or a game in particular in mind. We started Fallout 4 and Sleeping Dogs, so technically we could play these two games. Other than that, I don't have anything in mind. I just got out of the shower because we barbecued. We had barbecue for dinner, and you know how you're gonna smell like freaking burnt meat or barbecue, whatever, when you have barbecued. Yeah, that's why I decided to take a shower because it was the smell was always like terrible. I was the one like, you know, handling the barbecue, gritting the meat, flipping over all these stuff. So yeah. Other than that though, how is everybody doing today? I didn't do anything else really. Yesterday was a nice day. I went to a card kind of like a convention again. I actually only bought one card, which let me show y'all. Let me show y'all what I got. Nothing too crazy, but I do like that card because I owned it when I was a kid, and then obviously my mom go ahead and threw all of our Pokemon cards away. So I lost like quite a bit of like cool cards during that, which is unfortunate, but at least I saw this and it was still in pretty good condition, so I had to get it, which is this card. It's the Feraligatr EX, and this is basically for anyone that collects Pokemon these days and opens modern sets. EX nowadays aren't like really anything special, but back then these were, I believe, like some of the like first EX cards, and they were like something else. They were also way harder to pull from what I believe, but as you can see, they have like the cool like galaxy holo foil around it, and yeah, I don't know, just overall a really cool card for Feraligatr X. This is from the set EX Unseen Forces, I believe. So yeah, really happy with that. Picked that up. I picked up some games again. I bought FIFA Street, random FIFA Street for the PlayStation 2. I always used to play this game with my brother, and I saw it. Now the FIFA games are always like dirt cheap, so this was only like what €2 or €3. I bought this one. I was actually looking for before we started the God of War series. I actually managed to find it, which is God of War 3 remastered for the PlayStation 4. So what I'm thinking about doing is, since we started the God of War series or playthrough, I don't know how far I got up to. I'm actually thinking of replaying this first bit on this version and then continue where we left off with the PlayStation 4, because I think there's a significant like performance boost whenever we play the console version. The PS3 version, it's a good version, the OG version, but it just has a lot of performance like drops. So yeah, other than that, I picked up random Wii Sports Resorts. I'm on a quest, kind of. Well, I'm not really like actively hunting, but I want to collect like every console exclusive game for each platform or console that I own. So yeah, I stumbled upon Wii Sports Resorts, which is I think a pretty fun one as well. Like, it got like sword fighting, wakeboarding, frisbee. You can shoot with a bow and arrow, bowling again. I don't know there was bowling in this one. We got basketball, tabletop tennis. We got golf, cycling. So there's a lot of cool stuff. I don't know how often I will play it, but yeah. And then I picked up Tekken 6, which I already owned before. I owned Tekken 6 before on the PlayStation 3. Then I sold my PlayStation with all my games. I rebought a PlayStation again, I don't know how many years later. And I actually didn't own Tekken 6 yet. So bought it again. Yo, what up, RB? What up, RB? How are you doing? I've been playing Tekken 8 at the moment. Oh shoot, that's because your character released, right? Kunimitsu. How are you? How are you doing? So yeah, that's basically my whole weekend. So bought one Pokemon card, some games, and I've just been enjoying the nice weather, the barbecue. So yeah. For today though, we probably just watch some YouTube videos to begin with, and then we'll boot up some game. I don't know which game yet. Yeah, doing good. Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear, bro. Yeah, Tekken 8 has announced like a pretty cool guest character, which is Yujiro Hanma from Baki. I haven't watched Baki yet. Well, I started watching Baki because of the announcement, but apparently he's like a pretty good fit for Tekken. He'll be releasing in 2027 though. What up, Bob? How you doing, Bob? Just the man to come into the stream because I actually wanted to watch at least one thing before I decide what game we play. And that is they apparently released some Modern Warfare 4 gameplay. So we definitely want to watch that. Now let me see which one how do I watch that? Hold on. Is it this one? Modern Warfare 4. Yeah, I think it's this one. Okay, let me share my screen. And we'll watch some YouTube videos first. If anyone has a YouTube video that we should watch, y'all can send it over in the chat or the link. So, Philosophy of Multiplayer from the Ward, Episode 2, Modern Warfare 4. Wait, is there a Episode 1? Hold on. How is Kunimitsu though? Is she good? Does she feel busted? So where do we watch the gameplay? I think it's in like this this series of episodes. I don't want to really watch someone else. Hold on. Official from the award. Oh fuck it. We'll just watch it from IGN. So we got gameplay. A bit of a gameplay for Modern Warfare 4. I've heard they are going to approach more of like a grounded sort of like Call of Duty. And they said, from what I believe, they're not putting ridiculous celebrity skins or whatever freaking skins in the game. That's what they at least confirmed or at least, you know, like said. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen after a few updates. I'm doing good. How are you doing? I am doing great as well. Just been enjoying the weather. Doing some nice barbecue. And that's about it. Okay, I don't want to be... I do want to watch the gameplay right away.
Bring it back and do it the Modern Warfare way. And to us, that means a large-scale battle reclaiming a city.
All of it's visceral, all of it's gritty, it's all grounded and ripped from the headlines, but we get to experience it in a variety of
all grounded
ways.
Guys. Will they have Omni movement again? That's the real question. Will they have Omni movement?
Call of Duty. So the Call of Duty came about. It was like it was your duty to serve your country, your duty to fight in the war for your country. So this time around, we were like, all right, we're gonna be in Korea. You know, it's north versus south.
Oh, what?
Better place to go back to the roots of what Call of Duty is than that conflict.
So it's set in Korea, North Korea versus South Korea. Dang, what?
We dug into pretty hard the history of, you know, North and South Korea.
Okay, do we got any gameplay?
You know, divide in the first place.
And now we're getting to go back to that like actual like huge forces in direct conflict.
I want to watch or see where the gameplay is at.
Militaries.
Like,
Whoa, we don't get any gameplay?
What is big war?
What is it?
Bro, this whole episode isn't showing us gameplay. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Call of Duty. Bro, I changed my mind about MW3 2023. The game is decent. I've played MW multiplayer and OD, but a lot of maps are not really that good, and I hate the classic MW2 map. Why do you hate MW2 map, bro? Come on now. Come on now, Bob. Hating on MW2 maps? That's crazy. Like, I find the classic MW2 maps like to be pretty good, but the other ones,
make the best multiplayer arcade
the new
shooter
maps,
we
nah.
possibly could, and to us that meant Modern
Oh, here we
Warfare
go.
with unrestricted.
We were like, hey,
Oh, we got
some
movement.
freedom.
We got movement,
Like,
guys.
oh man, I can't do this. This doesn't feel.
Playtest.
Okay, debrief.
Movement,
The other
movement.
day with the cross studio playtest.
movement, definitely you saw a big improvement. People were feeling like they felt more unrestricted.
Wait, this is gameplay, right? Assets and gameplay currently in development. Okay, hold on.
Still felt like it fit Modern Warfare.
It was cool to see.
Okay,
people
we got a
sliding over the
slide.
Cars that we have.
I mean, a
Like, it was
slide is
rad to see
decent.
People use our new movement tech and like mantle in the slide, get on top of cars,
Okay.
or even use the new pipe climbing.
What I love is just how natural it feels. It's not like the movement options
What?
are difficult to wrap
We can-
your
we
head
can
around.
climb
You just
walls?
Pick up the controller and you can feel it instantly.
Yeah.
And so like I think it's gonna feel natural to a casual player, and there's enough space where you can like optimize and really.
And master the movement. Yeah. We got kind of dinged
Okay.
on Modern Warfare 2 with
Interesting. So we got wall movement. Wall movement. We got a slide, and you can go from the slide right into a prone state, which I think they have already done before. I can't remember in what Call of Duty though. I also tried MW2 2019 on Steam. The game is garbage. I'm hoping you talk. Wait, what? You mean in a garbage state, or do you really don't like MW2? Then Bob, I'm gonna be honest. If you don't like MW2 2009 and you do like Black Ops 6, I don't know what to tell you. You are uncultured, my boy.
our movement. Where we
Kuni feels good, but still getting used to. I mean, obviously, how long has she been
took
out
some
for?
things away, some freedom. People like, oh man, I can't do this. This doesn't feel good. The movement's terrible. So for this project, we were like, we need to make some adjustments.
We set off to make.
Okay, that's not too
unrestricted
bad,
movement
you know,
at
a
the
slide
beginning of
into
this
a
game. Then the
prone
ideas that
state.
started coming out of people like mantling into slide, the slide into supine, like all these kinds of ideas are like, that's awesome. Let's put that in the game. And so I love all that stuff because the game just feels fluid. It feels dynamic. It feels like everything I want to do. The game
What did they do with
responds,
Omni
like
movement,
all
though?
the ideas from the team around movement, how to make it feel that way, are fantastic.
Nice.
I'm interested to hear what they.
Oh, nice. Do it. Nice. Last one and two. This way. You got it. You see two. Oh my God. Yes. Sorry, Joe. Good. Again. She done mid. It's an incredible experience, right? To be with a team that has, shipped so many titles, and that's great learning tools for me as a designer to have this, by proxy experience working with you guys and other people at the studio to say,
Okay.
Here's how.
Is that
here's
it,
how to
though?
be a better designer.
For the gameplay?
And here's how, to really elevate your feature to the next level.
We might have some experience.
Okay, it seems like that is
You
it.
know how we
I don't know if this is like I don't know. 2 days, yo, Zenki getting banned again. No way, Valentine. If I am banned again, or not banned, if the freaking stream says, oh, you are lying. Yo, Valentine, I'm gonna have to ban you. No, we're not getting banned now. We're not getting banned. Over video games? Nah. And by the way, that wasn't even a ban. It just got, let's just say, suspended. How are you doing, bro? How are you doing? 2 days has she been out for? Oh, nice. I need to pick up Tekken again sometime. I need to pick it up sometime. Okay, anything else though? We got Modern Warfare 4. We got The Art of Ghost.
The biggest solve for us at Infinity Ward is really trying to make things look authentic and believable, real. And if you get those
I want
things
some
right
gameplay,
in the
though.
real world, you can bring it into the
Why
game
is this
itself.
all split up in these like long videos? I mean, I get it. Could be interesting, but we're only here for gameplay right now. Only good thing about MW is the campaign mode and movement and graphics and music, multiplayer inspectors menu and DLC are terrible, and the game is wow, bro. One of the best Call of Duty games, MW2. It's been iconic. It's been so many memories back when Call of Duty was at its peak. I agree that some weapons weren't like really balanced, but other than that, the maps were like pretty good. Pretty good. And just the graphics and stuff, I mean, for their time, obviously they're not like up to standard as what they are now, but dang, that's a wild statement, bro. I don't know. I don't agree. I don't agree. The older Call of Duty games had like this special charm to them. Now I could be like blinded by nostalgia, but I definitely feel like they're better than whatever garbage they're putting out right now. Zenki can see the stream with you there. You're joking.
But victory.
Stop playing with me, Valentine. Okay, what is this? Yeah, I like that the game is set in Korea though. You got that combat knife.
Hostile alliances.
I like how they just immediately put these skins like, you know, pretty realistic. And no, so far no goofy skins.
Emerge.
So these are the skins that you get with the Vault Edition, right? That skin is sick.
Hunt your adversaries.
Oh yes, I like this so far. I really like this.
Secure your arsenal.
That Ghost skin?
Call of Duty.
So many
Modern
people are gonna
Warfare
rock that.
4. Pre-order the Vault Edition now in the open.
Yo, notice how these skins look, the pre-orders for the Vault Edition, and look at how they used to look. I don't know about Black Ops 6 Vault Edition skins. I mean, I'm sure there's probably like an audience for it somewhere, but they definitely are gonna double down on realistic skins. These were alright, I guess. Modern Warfare 3 Vault skins. What about Modern Warfare 2 Vault skins? Okay, not bad actually. I remember there was one being like ridiculous. Oh yeah, of course, Korea. Who would have guessed? They're actually gonna put the freaking war between North Korea and South Korea
Early access.
in Call of Duty. He just mentioned it. Dang. New Call of Duty though. I want to see some proper like multiplayer footage. I actually want to see some proper multiplayer footage. Anyone has a video, by the way, that we should watch before we do whatever we're gonna do today? I don't have anything in mind, to be honest. I hated MW2 2009. Multiplayer maps are just garbage. Okay, I will agree the noob tubes with the, what is it called? The one-man army, that was toxic. That was really toxic. Other than that though, I don't know. It's one of the best in my opinion. Okay, do we have anything else? Let me just quickly check. We're not gonna watch any movie trailers again because we learned our lesson. This shit is not gonna work again. What is this? Hell Let Loose.
Peggy 8.
What do you find interesting in general, Zenki? It could be anything as long as it's like an interesting video. Preferably not like too long, like 45 minutes or so, or 30 minutes. Just something, I would say around like 50 minutes, nice and quick to digest. Could be anything. Could be anything. I like see. Oh wait, before we do, I actually do have some video that I want to watch. It was one of those scary, interesting footage type of videos. Those are like really. I've been hooked into these videos ever since like the last couple of years. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was from Chilling Scares. Okay, 5 most disturbing cases of real found footage. Let's go ahead and watch this. And who's this? Oh, I also haven't watched this one. Oh, what? And I also haven't found this one or seen this one. Oh, we have some good videos.
In 2004.
These type of videos are so interesting always. Like these like cases of missing people or some sort of murderers where they will eventually like uncover the truth about it and whatnot. Find the suspect or whatever. So yeah. Other than that, I like gaming videos. I like videos centered around anime, but that's more kind of questionable with copyright. I like things about card related or just anything in general. As long as it's like, I have to like see the video if I
14, an
determine if I find it useful or interesting or not. I don't really understand why people love MW2 2009. I really hated the game. I think it's because, I mean, it's also a very big part is nostalgic, but also, I don't know, just the simple like map designs, the simple movement, no freaking running around 360, no scope, MLG Pro, Face Clan, whatever bullshit. I mean, there was trick shotting in that game. Also, trick shotting was a huge part of Call of Duty
In
back in the day. I don't know. I think it's just the simplicity of like the gameplay and maps.
An abandoned cell phone was found in the back seat of a taxi in Fiji. When a passenger found it, they started looking through its contents.
All right, let's watch 5 most disturbing cases of real found footage. Bro, y'all guys know what my favorite type of horror movie genre is? Found footage. Found footage horror movies are like one of the most scariest ones. I mean, Paranormal Activity kind of is found footage. You got VHS, which VHS isn't super scary. Grave Encounters, not a good one.
Hence to figure out who it belonged to. In the camera roll, they found a
we got the
roughly 10-minute
Nokia
video. It was pixelated handheld footage shot from the deck of a large vessel somewhere in the open ocean.
I give MW2 2009 a 4.7 out of 10. Just my opinion, bro. I hate the game. I mean, everybody is entitled to their opinion. I will say you got a garbage opinion, though. I like BO6 more than MW. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here, Bob.
The video captured a gruesome mass killing.
I can't take you seriously after that
before the man responsible for it was ever found. Now, the first few minutes of the footage have been scrapped from the internet, but from what I could gather, they showed the
high
deck
quality
of a ship
Nokia
with people yelling
footage.
in multiple languages. Beyond that, another ship is visible nearby, and right next to it is a smaller boat sitting roughly 100 feet away. At first, nothing happens. The video plays out normally, but a few seconds later, one of the larger vessels suddenly accelerates and slams directly into the smaller boat, flipping it over and throwing the crew into the ocean without life jackets.
Is that blood?
As the men clung to pieces of debris, a man started shouting from somewhere aboard the ship, giving commands in Mandarin to shoot the drowning men.
Shoot the drowning man?
What followed was a savage massacre with 40 rounds of bullets fired throughout the duration of the video, killing one man after the other. Even when one of the men tried to surrender by raising both of his arms, he was immediately shot in the back of the head. After the shooting stopped, the camera kept rolling, and it showed crew members on deck laughing and posing for selfies beside
Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Modi.
each other, as if what had just happened
Appreciate
was
it.
nothing new.
Yo, what you doing? We're just watching some YouTube videos. We might boot up a game later, but for now we're watching 5 most disturbing cases of real found footage because why not, I guess. So yeah. Trees Hate You. Wait, what is that tree? Hey Zinky, I got a game that you could play. It's a demo. It takes 30 minutes to complete. Oh, bro, I've already got Trees Hate You installed. We might try it out in a bit. Bro, you should play a game. Later on. We'll probably boot up a game later on. Okay, let me just reach all messages. At least BO6 multiplayer was balanced and you got cool maps and good kill streaks. And fun about modes and zombies was way better than Spec Ops modes. Only bad thing about BO6 are these skins. Only bad thing? I don't know about that though. I don't know about that. But yeah. You should try Escape the Back. Can I send the trailer or link game? Yeah, sure. If you send the trailer.
Video of
Escape the
Unknown
Back.
Origins was uploaded to YouTube, where it circulated for months before reaching authorities. The footage was eventually found by journalist
We can actually try that out, Valentine. Trees Hate You. I've heard about that demo.
Ian Urbina, an investigative reporter for the New York Times at the time and founder of the Outlaw Ocean Project, a journalism group that investigates
why did they start
lawlessness,
shooting these
human
guys,
rights
though?
abuses, and environmental crimes at sea. Ian launched a months-long investigation into the footage and worked with maritime crime researchers to trace its origin. At first, nobody knew which ship the footage came from, where the shooting had taken place, or who the men in the water were. But after analyzing the video more closely, it showed enough of the surrounding vessels to give investigators somewhere to start. The shooting had taken place on September 29, 2012, with 4 fishing vessels at the
2012.
scene. A maritime research group compared
What's
the
the
ship's
quality of that
visual
garbage in
footage against
2012?
global vessel databases and identified the filming vessel as Ping Shin 101, which sailed under a Taiwanese flag. That discovery completely changed the direction of the investigation. Under maritime law, a ship sailing under a country's flag is subject to that country's jurisdiction, even in international waters, which meant the people responsible for investigating the massacre should have been the Taiwanese government. Eventually, the Taiwanese government released an official statement explaining what had happened, or at least what seemed like the explanation at the time. According to them, the men in the water were Somali pirates who had fired on a fishing fleet, and the shooting was an act of self-defense.
Oh, I've heard about, like,
the incident had taken place
literally
in
like
part of the Indian
pirates,
Ocean that was infested with Somali
like
pirates during the
hijacking
early
ships and whatnot,
2010s. So the
crossing like a
fishing
certain
vessels operating
ocean.
there routinely carried armed private security for protection. This was a believable explanation, but looking closely, it had some holes. The first problem was that nothing in the footage showed the men in the water carrying any firearms, so there was nothing indicating that they were pirates. And when analysts examined the debris,
Yeah, there are
floating
still
around
like
them,
to this
it
day
did not
pirates
look like the type
going
of vessels
around
Somali pirates
in
were
some sort
typically
of like
known to
seas.
use. However, the contradiction that finally broke the official story came from inside the ship itself. In 2016, a private
Chips.
investigator tracked down 2 Filipino crew members
Chips.
from the Ping Shin 101, Aldrin and Maximo. Maximo was one of the men seen posing for selfies on deck after the shooting, and his
Bro,
testimony
look at that
directly contradicted
quality,
what
though.
Taiwanese officials had said. They didn't have any guns, only fishing equipment on their boat. It was wrong, people getting shot, but there was nothing I could do about it. Using witness accounts, along with analysis of the voice heard over the loudspeaker,
Yeah, like at least question them before just
shooting orders as the
straight
ship's
up like
captain,
kill them.
a Chinese national named Wang Fengyu. Wang had ordered 2
I mean, they're in the
Pakistani
water. What could they
security
like
guards
possibly
aboard the
do
vessel
still?
to open fire on the men as they floated in the water. When it was over, at least 10 men were dead. But despite dozens of witnesses across the surrounding ships, no maritime law required any of them to report what they'd just seen. So, no one did. The bodies were never recovered, and for nearly 2 years, the killings went completely unreported, and was only ever discovered because of the footage found on the phone left behind in the taxi. By the
Bro,
time investigators
those phones were
identified
sick
the
as hell.
Ping Shin 101 in 2015,
Especially when the era of the flip phones came out.
the ship had already sunk to the bottom of the ocean, and there was nothing left to examine for evidence. But the most disturbing detail of the case wasn't the shooting itself, it was what had happened just before it. According to Aldrin's interviews, the shooting in the video was not an isolated incident. Roughly 5 days earlier, Wang had taken the Ping Shin 101 to join 3 other fishing vessels in attacking a small sailboat.
What?
The ships circled the boat together, terrorizing its crew before taking turns ramming it.
Bro, these
until
guys
it
are just
overturned
straight up
and
freaking
sank.
murderers.
The unarmed men were then thrown into the water while they screamed, "No Somali, no pirates." Wang ordered the 2 Pakistani guards to open fire. and
Bro,
when
they're
they
just using
hesitated,
their
he
ship
came
as a
down from the
freaking-
bridge, took a machine gun from one of them
like a
and brutally
bulldozer or
shot the man
something.
himself. Between the 2 attacks, more than 30 people were violently murdered. However, when Wang was eventually
Dang, 30
arrested
to
in August
34 people is
2020,
crazy.
almost 8 years after the mass killing, only 4 deaths could be proven. And after multiple appeals over the years, Taiwan's Supreme Court confirmed his 26-year sentence in January 2025. Unfortunately, the men who died have never been identified, and no bodies were ever recovered. But none of this answered the real question: why had Wang actually done it? His official story was the one Taiwanese authorities gave to the press. The men were pirates and the shooting was self-defense. But almost nothing about that story held up. His own crew told investigators the men in the water had no weapons. And even the Taiwanese court
So
that
the
accepted
captain
Wang's
was the one
pirate
that
claim
ordered
convicted him of
to
murder
kill them all.
because once the men were in the water, they couldn't fight back. So what was his reason? Digging deeper, there lies a darker explanation. The Ping Shin 101 had reportedly been illegally poaching off Somalia, stealing its fish. Maritime experts believe the surge of piracy attacks against foreign vessels in that region during the early 2010s wasn't really piracy at all. It was Somali fishermen pushing back against foreign ships stealing the fish they depended on for survival, which meant the men Wang killed may not have been pirates at all, but local fishermen confronting one of the
local
foreign
fisherman,
vessels
damn.
stealing from their waters. Sadly, to this day, no one knows who those victims were or whether anyone is still waiting for them to come home.
Dang, I know
On
that
the
there's still
morning of
like these things going around, like the hijacking stuff on boats and whatnot. So it's scary out there in some sort part in like seas. Let me just see, just my opinion, bro. I like BO6. It's a good COD game. I still play it. BO6 was not really perfect, but it's still a good COD. I give the game a 7.3 out of 10. I mean, yeah, if you enjoy it, I mean, that's good to hear though. I don't know how popular it was like in general. I only grinded the mastery camo in BO6, and that's about it. Let me just quickly watch the trailer that Modi sent. What is this game called again? Escape the Beck launch trailer is now official on GameJolt. What is GameJolt?
This blows up, we're screwed.
Escape the Beck?
No, God, please!
Available now on GameJolt. What the hell is GameJolt? Isn't it on Steam? Check out our website. Get game now. I mean, it looks interesting. Probably not really a type of game that I would play because I don't really play those Lethal Company style games. Interesting. when did this game came out though? May 23rd on 2026. Maybe I'll look into it. How much is it? Is it free or is it? How much does it cost? Damn, they want those Doritos. They do want those Doritos.
2012, firefighters in North Bend, Washington responded to smoke coming from a quiet suburban home on Southeast 159th Street. By the time firefighters put out the fire, it had only reached the kitchen. As they searched the house, they realized...
Yeah, but to be honest, BO6 wasn't really my game. Like, I enjoyed it just for the grind, but other than that, I was... Bro, literally, the last time I touched that game was when I finished the Mastery Camo grind. And I never touched it again. And I haven't even bought BO6. I don't know, or BO7. I'm hoping MW4 does good and they kind of they remove the Omni movement. And the maps are like super important, right? I don't want these bullshit big maps that freaking have a million openings. I just want classic 3-lane maps, left, middle, right, and that's about it. That's all I'm asking for. And no like advanced movement tech. I know I'm a movement guy myself, but if I would have to like prefer a certain direction, it would definitely be more like a simpler movement.
The fire was cover for something much darker. Inside the bedrooms, they found 41-year-old Lynette Keller and her 18-year-old daughter Kayleen, both shot in the head. 7 gas containers were spread throughout the house, and a plastic gas can had been placed on an electric stove with the burner turned on. Someone had clearly wanted this entire home to burn to the ground. But the fire was stopped before it could finish the job. The only person missing from the scene was the husband and father, Peter Keller.
Shoot.
He was a quiet 41-year-old who worked at a computer refurbishing store where his boss described him as an excellent employee, and close relatives knew him as a good father and a loving husband. Peter had no criminal record and no history of violence. The only thing slightly unusual about Peter was that he liked to go on long weekend hikes by himself. But as investigators would soon find out,
long weekend hikes?
were covering up something Peter...
I mean, hikes could be pretty chill. Like, unfortunately, in the Netherlands, we don't have any, like, or at least in my opinion, any interesting, like, nature type of areas where you could do a hike. Like, if I think about hikes, I think about, like, you know, climbing, like, hills or maybe mountains, sort of like that. Maybe that's, like, over-exaggerated. I know a simple, like, hike through the forest could also be considered a regular hike. But, yeah, I don't know. It's,
been building for nearly 8 years. During their
it's
investigation, officers found an
it's quite flat over here in the Netherlands.
Inside were hand-drawn blueprints for an underground structure and hundreds of photographs documenting its construction.
What?
Along with this, there were hard drives where officers found footage Peter had recorded of himself just weeks earlier. This footage proved crucial in the initial investigation. In one of the clips, Peter can be seen walking through dense forest, talking about finally bringing some kind of project to an end.
Well, it's about 2 weeks before the end. This is going to be my last video.
The end.
Probably till after that.
He was speaking as if he'd been stockpiling large amounts of supplies somewhere, preparing for the moment when he could stop going back and forth.
I have about 3 loads left before the final.
Well, he's gonna murder them and then hide in a bunker?
About 2 loads up a week. About 100 pounds each week now of supplies and material.
To investigators, the end Peter was referring to was likely the murder of his wife and daughter, followed by the fire he set to erase the evidence. And the photographs and blueprints recovered from the house showed where the plan was supposed to lead next. An underground bunker somewhere in the Cascade Mountains, which was just a few miles from his North Bend home. Based on the way he spoke in the videos, investigators had every reason to believe that wherever this bunker was, Peter was probably hiding inside it at that moment.
Basically, I can last months up here without ever leaving. I've got propane, gasoline, food. So
why would you record this, by the way?
So
why would you tell all this?
Right now.
If you want to destroy all the evidence and by burning down the house, well, why would you like record yourself? But maybe there's like a Twitch. What?
Near the
a twist or a plot?
But without an exact location, that still left them with 30 to 40 miles of dense woods and dozens of possible hills where Peter could have disappeared. For the next few days, there were no meaningful leads. However, on April 26, after 4 days of searching and sifting through evidence, investigators found a blurry photograph recovered from the Keller house. It was among the few pieces of evidence the fire had failed to destroy. The image appeared to have been taken from inside the bunker, looking out through the trees. In the distance, investigators could make out power lines and the rooftops of what would later be identified as the North Bend Premium Outlets.
Bro, it's so freaking like interesting how detectives and whatnot always like seem to somehow, it's not always the case because, you know, some cases you just can't really be solved with the evidence that you got. But sometimes with even like the most tiny little details, the way these detectives or whoever like researches those things are able to uncover or go on a whole like hunt or find the suspect is always so like cool. That sounds like, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like really like pretty cool work, like interesting work. Maybe, I could be wrong. Okay, MW2 2009 movement was better than BO6, but BO6 got better multiplayer mode and music and HUD and animation and graphics and gunfire. I mean, that's also mostly because now we have like higher standards for like gaming in general, like graphics. So I don't think it's like the graphics you can't really like compare because MW2 2009 is like what, how many year old game compared to BO6. So graphics are like you can't really compare the two. And animations is like the same thing. Like look at how many years there's apart between these games. I don't think it's like a super fair comparison. I still think MW2 2009 is better. But as you said, maybe we are like the old head, the people that played it like from back in the day are blinded by nostalgia. Who knows? This man is sick in his head. Why did he murder his own wife and daughter? Bro, I don't know. We're gonna find out, I guess.
They received a tip from hikers who had seen Peter's red 1994 Toyota pickup at the Rattlesnake Ridge trailhead weeks earlier. Together, those two clues narrowed the search to a specific stretch of mountain about 4 miles from the trail. On April 27th, 36 SWAT officers began climbing the ridge. After 7 hours of searching through the steep forest, they finally found the bunker.
Wow.
But even after locating it, officers still didn't know exactly where Peter was inside. So they surrounded the bunker and fired tear gas in, and moments later, Peter responded with gunshots from the darkness.
Oh,
the standoff
shoot.
lasted 22 hours before officers used explosives
22
to blow a
hours?
hole through the
That's crazy.
roof. Inside, on the lower 2
Wait, hold on.
hours before officers used explosives to blow a hole through the roof. Inside, on the lower level, they found Peter dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Of course.
Reviewing
Coward!
the footage, this is something Peter had prepared for.
At this point, I don't know what's going to happen. I may get caught right away. Basically, if I get caught, I'm just going to myself. So, I mean, I could basically be in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. It's all up to chance at this point. So
Why though? Why?
I don't think anyone
How are you
knows
this
where I'm
sick
at,
in your head?
But if they put it together, who knows? At
Bro,
this
it's
point, I
always
would
the
say
same
we have a
thing.
chance.
These like suspects, these killers, these murderers always end their own life before the police can get to them.
The handgun found beside his body was the same one he used to kill Lynette and Kayleen. Inside the bunker, officers found enough food and water to last
Gatorade?
months,
Did I just saw
along with
Gatorade?
weapons, body armor, and tens of thousands of dollars in cash. Peter had stored everything he thought he would need for the outlaw life he'd been planning for years.
But like eventually you have to go up, right? You have to get like new supplies, food and stuff. Well, you think the police is just gonna forget? They're just, if they won't find you in like a couple of weeks or months, they're just gonna store your archive somewhere.
Getting to the point where
Or your
just trying to
thing.
live and pay bills and live as a civilian and go to work. It just freaks me out. It's actually more comfortable for me to think about living out here, robbing banks, pharmacies, just taking what I want.
What?
For as long as I can. At least it'll be exciting. It won't be boring. And I don't have to worry about Lynette or Kayleen. And
Dang.
everything will be taken care of. It'll just be me.
This guy is sick in his head. He's actually sick.
Now, a natural question that
So he wanted his life right now, as it was right now, was too boring for him with his wife and his kid, his daughter, and going to work, paying taxes. I will say, it's not fun. It's the least fun part of life, paying bills and taxes and whatnot. But then again, wow, you're sick in your head. You think you need to rob banks or kill people in order to get a bit of excitement out of your life. I have played MW2 to the maps on MW3 and I hated it, bro. Those maps were too big. But too big? Wait, what? The only good MW2 map was Scrapyard? Nah, you must be tweaking. Terminal, one of the best freaking maps ever made. Terminal is such a go-to map. I'm also sick in my head, Zenki. I'm the Gooner King. Yeah, you are.
To mind.
You are, Fanta. You are also like unstable. I'm joking. Maybe not.
Is why. Why go through all that trouble to destroy his family and get away from
But that was like already known, right? Valentine, that you are like the Gooner of the Gooneries.
them? Based on the evidence, investigators believe Peter wanted to disappear and start a new life, far away from the responsibilities of a husband and a father. His wife Lynette and daughter Kayleen were obstacles to this fantasy.
Well, before, you know, a while ago, I used to sit here and think, you know, this whole thing is just crazy at times, and then I'd think about it, and it would make sense.
Yes, that is known.
Okay, this is what I gotta do. But,
it's written in history,
you know,
Valentine.
now, I guess with time, I just think that way all the time, that this is what I gotta do. I don't even question it anymore. It just seems like everything makes so much sense now.
After the case was officially closed, Lynette's family used the money recovered from the bunker, along with the rest of Peter's estate, to establish the Kayleen Keller Memorial Scholarship Fund at DeJaPenn Institute of Technology, the same school Kayleen had been hoping to join before her father decided to end that dream.
Wow. As a father as well, bro. Like, what? You just took away the life of your own daughter, of your wife who probably loved you, or not.
Highway 1 is one of...
That's crazy. No, if I was sick in my head, I wouldn't join the stream. I would do other things. Let's not go there, Valentine, you know. I'm glad you... I can take a bit of your time of your day off, so, you know. I'm just not a fan of MW2, bro. I like BO2 more. BO2 is way better than MW2 2009 and BO6. You know what? I would say that's maybe a fair take. BO2 or MW2 2009 being better. I don't know. It's kind of like I haven't played BO2 nearly as much as MW2. So for me, it will probably MW2. But I agree. BO2 was a very good game as well. Yeah, BO6 though. BO6? Nah, we don't talk about BO6. Have you seen that video of Bose with Tim Hoffman about a guy who made deepfake nudes of his co-workers and just random girls? I have watched a couple of Bose like episodes, but not. I don't reckon. Is that like a recent one, or another one, bro? Making deepfake shit, and now even with AI, you can do some crazy stuff with like if you have like an image of yourself online. I guess
California's most...
The guy's all sick. Yeah, that was a bro. You know what my favorite or one of my favorite TV shows from like Dutch TV shows were? It's Kees van de Spek in het buitenland, or Kees van de Spek opgelicht in het buitenland, or something like that. That's like one of my favorite ones that I like to watch. I don't really watch like any Dutch TV shows or series or whatnot, but I like those. I like those Kees van de Spek episodes though. When he goes to like foreign countries and he like exposes these scammers and whatnot. There's something about that which is so satisfying. Yeah. What did you expect from a Treyarch guy? I mean, Treyarch has not been cooking lately. Well, according to the general audience. I mean, you like Cut Ghost, and that game was also hated by a lot of people. I also didn't like Ghost. That is actually fair. That is fair. I will say that's not as like a crazy take as finding MW2 2009 horrible, but you know, you have a point. I agree. I like Call of Duty Ghost. I'm not ashamed to say it. Imagine that a coworker is making a nudity and put it on the internet. It's just like that is crazy. And like they're, from what I can tell, they're like very like I believe they're like very realistic and believable when you make them nowadays. But it's if you got like any like an ex or crazy ex that, or someone that doesn't like you, or a stalker or whatnot, they can do some heinous stuff to you, and really like ruin your or fuck with your emotions.
Scenic coastal routes, carrying drivers.
And also they can cause like they can cause so many freaking problems. Not even like work related, private life, and all sorts of things. I agree about BO7. That game is garbage. Trig was not cooking with BO7.
California's most scenic coastal
And BO6
route.
Okay, next story though.
Highway
guys.
1 is one of California's most.
Bro, I love this type of videos. I don't know, just something that always gets me hooked with these type of videos.
Coastal routes.
Also, I don't got Monster Energy today. I got Arizona pomegranate green tea. I don't think I haven't had a Arizona drink in such a long time. But let's do a quick little taste test, shall we? Fresh out of the fridge. I would say it's alright. I guess I'm not really the biggest fan of pomegranate. Pomegranate? I don't even know how to pronounce that in English.
Carrying
I would say it's
drivers along narrow
decent.
stretches
Not
of
very.
road where the
It's not my
Pacific sits
favorite.
just beyond the shoulder. On the
No.
morning of December 30th,
No Monster.
2019.
Okay,
the
hold on.
Pacific
I'm
sits
talking
just
over it.
beyond the scenic coastal routes, carrying drivers along narrow stretches of road where the Pacific sits.
Bro, what is this? What are these safety measures, by the way? Look at this. One freaking moment not paying attention. This little fence over here right across the road is not gonna hold your car. There isn't even a fence at this part, or at least from what I can tell. Bro, one guy that is like a little bit oversteering in your lane, and you just have to like, you'll fall right off your. Oh, can y'all see my mouse? Okay, y'all can actually. Your car will just, you're dead.
It's just beyond
You're
the
dead. It's
shoulder.
over for you,
On
buddy.
the morning of
GG's.
December 30th, 2019, a man named Philemon Ledesma had been driving northbound near Gray Whale Cove when he witnessed one of the most bizarre car accidents. Shortly after 10:30 a.m., he called 911 to report that he had just watched a vehicle fly off one of those cliffs in San Mateo
Oh
County.
my god.
Officers arrived within 20 minutes and found tire tracks at the edge of the highway leading toward a drop
Especially when it's raining, bro. Like,
of roughly
it can get like
40
very
feet into the
slippery.
Pacific.
I wouldn't drive
Below
there
it,
with
there was
any high
absolutely
speed.
no evidence of a vehicle or driver for officers to recover. With nothing in the water and only Philemon's word to go on, officers needed some way to confirm what he had seen. They scoured through Philemon's car and noticed a dash cam he had installed years earlier. On it, they found footage of the accident, and it was just as bizarre as he described.
Okay. So this is the dashcam footage. Whoa!
The SUV drove
Whoa, what the hell?
across the sandy
I wasn't
patch
expecting
at the
that.
edge of the highway, went airborne, and plunged straight down the cliff. The California Highway Patrol and Coast Guard quickly launched a massive search operation with local fire crews.
I'm sorry, but that really reminded me of Call of GTA's for some reason. You know when you see a ramp of like a cliff and you just hit it with full speed with your car?
And deputies combing the area by land, sea, and air.
I don't know.
Later, they
It just
found
reminded
vehicle
me of that.
debris in the water below, but unrelated to that specific SUV. 2 days later, the footage was released to the public and went viral across the internet. But instead of bringing in leads, it created a new problem. Over the following weeks,
More
people
people?
started picking the footage apart frame by frame.
Oh.
Some focused on why Philemon kept driving even after the SUV went over. Others couldn't understand why someone would drive straight off a cliff into the
Yeah,
Pacific.
that's what I'm saying.
And before long,
Did somebody like cut him off?
a growing number of people began claiming the video had been deepfaked. Many just couldn't understand how no
Deepfaked,
trace of the
really?
car or driver was found, as if they had just disappeared. But California Highway Patrol quickly dismissed these claims. Experts like Shamir Alibi, founder of the deepfaked footage detection company Amber Video, also suggested that the footage was most likely real. So then how had a vehicle gone off a cliff in broad daylight and somehow left investigators with no physical evidence that could tell them who was inside or where the person had disappeared to? Well, something a lot of people didn't take into account was just how drastic the terrain is off this stretch of highway. Just beneath the cliffs are jagged rocks, thick brush, narrow ravines, and violent surf.
I mean,
that
I'm
could hide
sure
or
a
hold
freaking car would like stand out, right? I have also played BO2 on Steam with my friends just in private match. And my final review for BO2 is 8.4 out of 10. It's a good COD game, but it's also not really perfect. I would say an 8.4 is that's a good rating, Bob. How is like a private match? Is that like still like pretty good?
Part a vehicle within minutes. In many places, once something goes over the edge, it disappears into a maze of coastline that rescuers can barely access even in daylight, which is why it was so surprising when the case actually had a breakthrough. Human remains were found.
Also, why is there just a random spot? Look at this. Why is this here? Why is there like...
actually had a breakthrough. Human remains were found on Montara Beach, along with a California driver's license. DNA testing confirmed they belonged to 52-year-old Tracy Ivory Sinclair from San Francisco.
Dang.
A later DMV search also showed she was the registered owner of a 2007 Lexus SUV, matching the car in the footage. Her family had filed a missing person report months earlier, and they had been waiting for her the entire time. But even after a name was finally attached to the dashcam footage, officials never determined whether Tracy lost control of the car or drove off the cliff
Yeah,
deliberately.
she just straight up. It didn't even look like she was like, I don't know, like dodging another car.
And disturbingly,
we could only
this
see a
isn't
part,
the only
right?
instance of this. In 2004, a 23-year-old named Jason Affolter drove off this same stretch, and his body was found washed up on the beach days later. Then, in 2017, a 22-year-old went missing on his way to work, and investigators eventually concluded he had driven off the cliff as well. But despite all of this, it took California's Transportation Department until December 2020 to install barriers along the cliffside.
Bro.
And only after years of pressure from the
How would you not come up with that earlier though?
grieving families. As for Tracy Sinclair, all that remains of her final moments is a few seconds of dashcam found footage.
No way.
Millions of people have watched it, but no one knows why she was on that road
Oh, wait.
or what happened in the moments before her
This was,
SUV
they're talking
went
about
over
this
that
dashcam
cliff.
footage. My bad. Dang.
On September
So I hate when they freaking leave us with no explanation. I mean, of course you can get an explanation or the motive out of this usually, but it feels so unsatisfying. Hello Runic. Hello Runic. I just got back from watching the newest AVA episode. It was peak. What is AVA? What is AVA, Runic? But how are you doing, bro? How are you doing today? Yeah, private match is safe to play. You just play solo with bots or you play with your friends. I have BO2 on my PlayStation 3. I actually want to figure out or check if we could still like play online. How are y'all doing? I am doing great. Enjoying the hot weather that has been taken over the Netherlands recently with some nice barbecue today. I barbecued today again. We had some nice spare ribs. I marinated some chicken, some shrimp. We got some baguettes, and it was good. It was good. It was very good.
November 16th, 1996, the manager at the Van Buren Plaza apartment complex in Hollywood, Florida, had suspicions that something was wrong with one of the units in the building. A foul smell had been lingering for at least a day, and now there were complaints of blood seeping through the walls into the apartment below. So he called the authorities to check on the tenant. When police forced the door open, they found the decomposing body of a young man. A video camera was set up across the room, pointed in his direction, and
1996.
on the wall, someone had written a message. The 8mm tapes are a documentation of a crime. Terrorist matter. They are for the FBI. Beside the body,
The bro just said terrorists matter. That's crazy. People glaze BO2 too much. Call that game peak. That game was not really peak because the strike missions in BO2 campaign was awful and some multiplayer maps were terrible. And saying, damn, bro, Bob has been going on a hate streak for older Call of Duty games. That's crazy, Bob. He's turning into a newer Call of Duty fan, like a more recent Call of Duty fan. Yeah, but I agree. Like the old games, while they weren't like perfect, they were good games. They weren't perfect. They do get a lot of glaze. But then again, I'm one of them, so I like them. AVA is animation versus animation. What is that, like a series? Or like a movie?
were 11 videotapes. Each one...
Also, by the way, we are watching 5 most disturbing cases of real found footage because why not? It's Sunday, we're chilling today. We might do some gaming later, but if not, then we'll just fill up the rest of the night with some YouTube videos.
roughly 2 hours long, which amounted to nearly 22 hours of total footage. All of it was recorded by the man on the floor, 21-year-old Ricardo Lopez.
21.
Officers went straight for the tape that was still inside the camera. It was
I'm gonna be honest. Why does he look like he's at least in his 30s?
labeled Last Day. And as the label suggested, the tape showed Lopez on September 12 recording himself in his final moments. But as disturbing as the found footage was, it wasn't what the police were most horrified about at the time. Earlier that day, Lopez had mailed a package which by September 16 was still moving through the international postal system. Inside was a hollowed-out book rigged with sulfuric acid designed to spray directly into the face of whoever opened it. Lopez had recorded himself preparing this device before mailing it to the London address of popular Icelandic singer Björk for, at the time, unknown.
So he put acid in a book, or like, so what was it called? Sulfuric acid. And he made it so when you open the book, it will get like sprayed in your face. And I think sulfuric acid is like pretty highly toxic, right? Isn't that the stuff that like literally burns your skin or burns through your skin? That's crazy. What a freaking sick guy you gotta be if you make these type of traps.
Reasons.
Nah, I'm just being honest. I just don't want to glaze old COD games too much. BO2 is still a great game, but it's not really a masterpiece. That's true. What do you think about MW3, the OG MW3 though? Yes, a series. Oh, nice. What is it about, Runic? Animation versus animation. Never heard about that though. I don't mind no gaming this time. Nice. And here I am in the lab where safety is all not really toxic, but depending on the concentration, it will burn wherever it lands on you. Oh, shoot.
As soon as the Hollywood police saw it, they immediately contacted the authorities in the area. Fortunately, the next day, British police located the package at a postal sorting office and safely detonated it before it could reach Bjork's address.
Nice.
But even after it was intercepted, there were still 11 tapes to go through, tapes that could have documented similar attacks being prepared for other people. Thankfully, no other targets were identified. Instead, the tapes revealed 9 months of footage documenting Lopez's terrifying psychological decline.
I'm gonna show you who I am.
A sick bastard.
Oh!
Yeah, he lost it. He's crazy.
The first tape was dated January 14, 1996.
Wow. He got a lot of hair.
Lopez explains the purpose of these recordings.
Okay. Comfort is what I seek in speaking to you. Something with I don't know. Something that makes me feel better. For a long time, I've been speaking into the mirror and being my own psychologist, sort of. Whatever. It's a release.
He talked about how he had been fixated on Bjork since he was 18.
Fixated on what? Bjork? What is Bjork?
Has been an incredible part of my mind since 93, since I first saw her. I've started with a crush, and ended up with an obsession, which I'm not embarrassed to admit now it's an obsession.
Bjork had become his escape from everything
What is Bjork? Bjork?
He despised about his life, including his job, body, and loneliness.
I don't remember about MW3 2011. I've played that game on 2011. I forgot I did not play for so long. Oh, dang, that's not even like that long. Oh, wait, what? On 2011, I forgot I did not play it for so long. Oh, I see. That's fair. Which I misspelled. It's animator versus animation.
He also
oh, sure. What is it about, though, Rune?
Showed his 803-page journal, which was full of his thoughts and feelings about the singer. But by the time the video diary began...
Oh, wait. Bjork was the singer, right? The artist that he wanted to spray with the sulfuric acid.
And Lopez had learned from a magazine that Bjork was in a relationship with another musician. To him, it was a betrayal of his devotion. And he wanted to make sure she carried that betrayal on her face for the rest of her life.
God.
So these tapes became the place where he documented how he planned to make that happen.
That's what we talked about, guys.
Build a device filled with
people that are obsessed with other people, like famous people, celebrities. content creators. They're
HIV-infected blood.
some of
But
them
when he
are
couldn't work out that depraved plan, he decided to
mentally
make a
unstable.
sulfuric acid bomb, as he wanted to either disfigure her permanently or take her life.
Whoa.
The payphone over there, my list of numbers.
Is that stuff legal to get? Like, for example, would I be able to just like, or would like a regular person be able to get it? I mean, I guess so, since it's used probably in like in the lab often, or maybe other stuff. Here's an example what a strong acid can do. Type in vaporizing a hot dog in acid from Nillard. Vaporizing a hot dog in acid from Nalred. Nalred. Hold on, let me see. Is it this one? Is it the short?
Okay, so
Oh yeah, it's this one. It's the most strong acid in the world. Maybe the acid used in the video is less strong, but still you get the idea.
today, I've decided to dissolve my wiener in acid. I'm not just going to be using any
The glizzy's
acid,
going
though,
strong.
and I'm going to be using something special called Piranha Solution. It's a hot and angry mixture of sulfuric acid and hydrogen peroxide, and I basically just have to drop it in. It almost immediately turns black, and this is all carbon. Now, if I add some more peroxide, I can vaporize the carbon and turn it into CO2 gas. I
Dang.
think it's pretty obvious, but I'm still going to mention that this is extremely dangerous. If any of this splashed on me, it would do something very similar, which wouldn't be super pleasant.
Holy. The most strong acid in the world. It just completely got vaporized once you poured in the peroxide.
It eventually looked like there was barely any of it left.
Bro, that looks like when you use like a frying pan or some hot oil, you use it over and over
And
again.
it was just a sad
Okay, that's
little
kind of
medium.
disgusting. Clean your
Then,
oil,
for
guys.
the next 30 seconds or so, it calmed down, and
It's
it was
just
ready
gone.
for another wiener.
Ready for another wiener. Don't drink the forbidden cola, Coca-Cola. The most scary thing ever, the solution turns clear at the end as though nothing happened. Just like in these scary movies. Dude just casually showing people how to get rid of the evidence. Yeah, that's crazy. Now imagine all over your skin. Yeah, it's... As he said, or as the narrator said, he wanted to give life-changing, like, or like literally, like, do something to
Either
her
I'm gonna
face.
Get a hydrochloric acid 100%, sulfuric acid, the strongest I can get.
Lopez wrote in his diary how he wanted to have an effect on her life. And even though these tapes make Lopez seem sealed inside his apartment, he wasn't completely cut off from the outside world just yet. During this time, his family had become increasingly worried about his well-being and had pushed him to attend outpatient mental health appointments. But Lopez never told his therapist about the tapes or what he was planning to do. And by the middle of summer, even that little connection to society was gone. His boss had been complaining about Lopez's declining hygiene and behavior. Shortly after, Lopez quit his job and cut off his phone line. His delusional plan to punish Bjork became the center of everything he had left. From that point on, the tapes narrowed almost completely around the device and how he'd deliver it. On September 12th, Lopez labeled his final tape. After mailing the package, he returned to his apartment. His plan was already in motion, and now the only thing left was the ending he had been building toward for months.
How did he got her
tape
address though?
Was rolling the entire time. 4 days later, police found him dead inside the apartment. When Bjork learned what had happened, she was obviously horrified. By it, she sent a card and flowers to Lopez's family. His tapes were eventually released to the public. 22 hours of footage documenting the entire mental decline
22
of
hours.
Ricardo Lopez.
Dang.
On the morning of
A sulfuric acid bomb in a book where when you open it, it splashes into your face. Wait, what? Did I just... Can y'all still hear me? By the way? Okay, y'all can. I thought I knocked my mic over or disconnected my mic. Did something happen to her face? I hope not. No, they actually... They managed to intercept the bomb before it reached the singer. I think she was a singer. So, luckily not. And I don't know. Wait, how did he die? Did they explain how he died? Did he just like kill himself?
decline of Ricardo Lopez.
Oh. No clue. But no, fortunately, it did not.
On the morning of
It did not freaking reach the target, the victim. Hope she ran to the shower, because then the only way to have a chance is put water on your face. Well,
Good
luckily
Friday.
the bomb didn't reach her. They managed to intercept it by at the post office, I believe.
April 19th, 2019, 87-year-old Terry Radford was waiting near a bus stop on Worcester Avenue in Mansfield Woodhouse, completely unaware that only minutes away, a stolen car was tearing through nearby residential
Oh,
streets
hell
as
no.
the man behind the wheel screamed that he was Jesus.
Oh my god.
I'm descendant of God, and you lock me up! Watch this!
What in the world is this?
Wait until you...
Why does he look so scary?
Terry was a retired teacher who had spent much of his past few years caring for his wife as she suffered through extreme dementia. She passed away 7 months earlier, and after years of putting almost everything else aside, Terry was finally beginning to look forward to life again.
Aw,
He had
no
3
way.
foreign holidays planned for later that year, but
3
before he
holidays?
could take any of them, the stolen car turned onto Worcester Avenue. As it came toward the bus stop, the driver noticed Terry standing there, and instead of continuing down the road, he shifted into reverse and accelerated back toward the pavement.
What?
The car mounted the curb and crushed Terry against the bus shelter with so much force that he passed away at the scene. The driver stepped
What
out
in the
immediately
world?
and shouted, "I've killed him. I've killed the devil." He was later identified as 38-year-old Gavin Collins. Collins had been released from prison less than 24 hours earlier with an electronic tag around his ankle under the home detention curfew scheme.
Oh my god, please, why? Of course, when he was just released, he managed to do something freaking, he managed to
This policy allows low-risk inmates to
run
serve
someone
the remainder
over.
of their sentence.
Mentally unstable people, I don't know how I feel about them. I don't know if they should literally be freaking released, like, ever. I don't know.
At
Will they
home
ever
while
learn?
transitioning back into the
I'm sure, like, there's like
But when Collins
perfect examples of people that, you know, that like therapy or something has worked, but
friend
this guy
collected
was
him
probably locked up for something, but
from the prison gate on April 18th, something about Collins' behavior seemed wrong. He was talking strangely and acting as if he was on drugs. By the next morning, that behavior had escalated into something far more alarming. Collins walked into a neighbor's house, threw a bag of prescription medicine on the floor, and started unplugging electrical items, claiming they were the work of the devil. He then walked into another neighbor's house, grabbed their car keys, and drove off. Collins was in the middle of a psychotic episode, and within moments he started accelerating through nearby residential streets, while
Ain't no
families in
way.
the area
Bro's
went about their
playing
Good
GTA
Friday
IRL.
morning. What happened next revealed Collins' horrifying state of mind. The entire incident was later discovered to have been recorded
Oh
through
my
dashcam
God.
footage found and recovered from the wreckage afterward. It shows him cutting through oncoming traffic at extremely high speeds as he shouts profanities. At one point, he ripped the rearview mirror off and continued to accelerate. He seemed to believe that he was a descendant of God and shouted that anyone who didn't listen to him would go to hell.
Descendant of God, and you lock me up! Watch this! You think I'm strong? Wait until you meet my of him, because ultimately he'll give her an ultimatum. Either listen to Gavin, Mum, or you're gonna.
why did he call the old man though?
They'll disown you, and so will I. But it's now grandma's.
When he reached Skegby, Nottinghamshire, he lost control and slammed the car into a house. The homeowner who was standing in the front garden at the time had to jump out of the way to avoid the crash, but that didn't stop Collins. He climbed out of the wrecked car and demanded the owner give him keys to the vehicle, saying, "Do you believe in Jesus? Because I am Jesus, and I will kill you if you don't give me the keys." When he refused, Collins walked to the road, where a woman had stopped their car to check if anyone needed help after the crash. He forced his way into her car, and after driving a short distance, threw her out and continued toward Mansfield Woodhouse. This was the second car he had stolen that
Jesus,
morning.
this guy is
Within minutes,
has
he had
lost
crashed
it.
this one too. Despite suffering through 2 car crashes, Collins' adrenaline and psychotic state of mind seemed to have erased
Dang, that's
any
crazy.
pain or anxiety. Shortly
He
afterwards,
was just, like,
he
able
broke
to
into
still
another
walk.
house where a mother and her 2 children were having breakfast. Collins approached them and drew crosses on their foreheads in his own blood from his wounds. Then he demanded the
What
keys
in
to the
the
woman's
world?
car and threatened the lives of her children if she didn't hand them over. This was now the 3rd car Collins had stolen that morning, and the one he used to kill Terry. By that point, police had already been responding to reports of a car being driven recklessly in the area. When an officer turned toward the bus stop on Worcester Avenue, Terry's body was lying near the shelter with his legs crushed and a massive open wound on his left shin. Collins was still in the car trying to get away. He was eventually caught after police managed to taser and arrest him. The entire rampage had lasted about 30 minutes. 9 months later, a jury found Collins guilty of manslaughter, and he was sentenced to life in prison. Strangely,
Nice,
during
finally.
the trial, Collins said he couldn't
Life in
remember any of
prison.
his
Matter of
actions from
fact,
that
just give him the. But that's just me. Just give him the freaking death sentence at this point. I don't know. A field system, definitely. I watched Batman the Killing Joker, and I hated that movie, and I also don't like Batman anymore because of that movie Joker. Batman's friends, and yeah, Batman does nothing about it. Wait, what is that movie? Is that like an animated movie of Batman, or like a real life action movie?
He told the jury he had spent 90 to 95% of his adult life in prison, and that he had been hearing voices since childhood, which hinted at a deeper problem.
Bro, if there is already something, if I don't know if it was like ever like found out or researched on him, but if someone like hears voices if you hear voices in your head or something, you gotta seek help.
Investigators later found that while he was previously inside prison, he was actually considered a risk of causing harm to others. He had been held in segregation away from other prisoners.
Then why would you
Actually considered a risk of causing harm to others.
Why would you still freaking release him? Why? If he was considered freaking to still pose a risk of causing harm to others, why would you release? That's what I freaking don't get in this goddamn society sometimes. They sometimes do the same thing over here in the Netherlands. When someone did like something, like committed a crime or stuff, and they're like still not fully like, or they still keep them on watch where they have like the ankle bands or whatever. But like, I mean, I guess it costs like space, maybe even money, but still. Was gone for a sec. Did I miss anything? You missed someone slowly. It was not this one, but slowly descending in his mentally descending in his apartment and trying to commit a crime by putting sulfuric acid in a book and shipping it to a singer. Where if she would have like opened the book, it would like spray sulfuric acid in her face and drastically change her whole look. Probably. And that's about it. Wait, is that Gavin Collins? Wait, is this like a pretty like known or famous case? It's an animated movie. I will not spoil it, but Batman is an idiot. He knows Joker is a threat, and yet, I mean, Joker is like the Batman's biggest like enemy, right? Also, I've never watched like any of the DC animated movies. I've only watched like real life DC movies. It's fine to talk to an imaginary friend, but if they start talking back, I think you should seek help. Some guy. I think
he had been held in segregation away from other prisoners, and weeks before his release, he had set fire to his cell twice and attacked a staff member with a plastic knife. Because of those incidents, his early release should have been automatically blocked, but the prison governors overlooked them, which ultimately led to the death of Terry Radford.
What a shame. What a freaking shame. Man, I like those videos though. These videos are so interesting. I highly recommend subscribing to Chilling Scares. And there's like other channels as well. Up the top of my head, Nexpo is a pretty good channel. But yeah, let's watch some other videos. I think we'll keep it by watching some videos and chilling, guys, talking about stuff and whatnot.
On the night of July,
something else than gaming for once. I like Invincible more. He's the best hero, and if villains go too far, then he will kill them. That is true. Invincible is ruthless.
First, 1997, a severe fire broke out at a small white bungalow.
Okay, so this video is killers who stole their victim's identity. Killers who stole their victim's identity. That's a crazy.
On 50th Avenue in East Oakland, California. It looked like a deliberate attack meant to end a life. But within days, that fire would become a national story that fooled not only...
You know what I can respect about these videos as well? There's no like intro or long freaking intro to the videos. It just starts, you click on the video, and it starts right into the action. I can appreciate it, honestly. I can appreciate it. Like nowadays, most of the time, you have like...
only the police.
You know, people asking or doing like a whole ass intro.
California. It looked like
I
a
can definitely
deliberate
appreciate
attack
it.
meant to end a life. But within days, that fire would become a national story that fooled not only the police and the media, but even the White House. By the time firefighters arrived, the house was fully engulfed in flames. Moments after, a badly burned woman came out of the house and made...
Guys, if y'all house would start a fire, right? Or if y'all house would start a fire or will start getting on fire, what would be the top 3 things that you guys would like get first out of y'all? If you still have like, let's just say you have, what will be a good amount? You have like 5 to 10 minutes. What will be the first like 3 things that you guys would like get, or if you could like try and save? I'm actually interested in what y'all would like what y'all would like choose. Realistically thinking, right? Like you have like only 5 to 10 minutes. The fire is already like spreading out very fast, and you gotta make a choice. Obviously, you cannot like save every single thing. What would y'all guys like save? I know Bob. What Bob is gonna save? His PC, his gaming PC, and maybe his monitor. Valentine will probably go for anime waifu Gunner materials. And Runic would save the beans.
made her way to a neighbor's door.
I'm joking.
That neighbor, Monica Joy Boyd, knew the two...
Batman is a coward. If he cares so much about Gotham, then just kill Joker. That villain escaped more than 10 times. Bro, the amount of times Joker has freaking managed to escape. The Gotham prison is a joke for Joker at this point. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Zenki. I'm from the Netherlands and I love gaming. Today is going to be a great day. We are booting up a game that I love. 5 minutes later, still yapping. That is so true. But I never said I mean, I love gaming, but sometimes it's chill to watch some videos. I can't lie. I would say my gaming PC and monitor and controller and keyboard and mouse. Basically his whole freaking setup. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, valid. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards. That's pretty valid. Phone, PC, and hard drive. The question is though, I mean, I don't know about y'all PC, but my PC is quite heavy. I don't even think I have like, and you gotta remember, you have all the cables and stuff. Would you like, realistically thinking, would a PC be, you know, would it be like that valuable to risk over anything else? Well, for Bob, it definitely is. Like my PC is pretty heavy. And then I have like all the wires and stuff. It's like all over the place. It would at least freaking take me a minimum of 30 minutes or so. Well, maybe 50 minutes if I'm like really fast. Yes, unplug it fast. Bro, we gotta go rapid. But my PC is heavy as hell. So, dang, I don't know. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, my phone, but I got my phone on me like at all times. What else? Like my console, I got a TV, monitors, I got cards. That's about it, probably.
Sisters who...
I mean, obviously, my girlfriend, my dog first. And yeah.
lived there, Stevie Alman and Sarah Mitchell. They looked alike enough that people sometimes...
Okay, hold on. I completely didn't pay attention to this video. I've only been yapping. Now, my beans are finished and the local store that sells them are out of stock. Dang. What kind of beans though? Are we like talking coffee beans or like edible beans in like meals?
Arrived, the house was not only the police and the media, but even the White House.
Okay. If I got to be fast, hard drive, laptop, phone. Oh, wait, hold on. Hard drive? What's on that hard drive, Valentine? I'm joking.
By the time firefighters arrived, the house was fully engulfed in flames.
Bro, make sure the hard drive is secure.
Moments after, a badly burned woman came out of the house and made her way to a neighbor's door.
I mean, technically, if you would be like, if you wanted to be fast, open up your freaking PC and take out the graphics card and the RAM, your GPU and the RAM. I mean, the rest is like salvageable. The rest you can like kind of find replacements. But like the GPU and the RAM, those are worth money. Gold. Actual
that
fortune.
Neighbor, Monica Joy Boyd, knew the two sisters who lived there, Stevie Alman and Sarah Mitchell. They looked alike enough that people sometimes mistook them for twins. But the burns on the woman in front of Monica were so severe that she couldn't tell which sister she was looking at. The woman told responders someone had thrown something flammable through her window. She identified herself to paramedics as 52-year-old Stevie Alman. According to her, drug dealers had surrounded the house and thrown Molotov cocktails through the window in retaliation for years of her reporting drug activity and giving police video of deals outside the home. Stevie was known as a responsible and dependable person. She'd lived in that house for years, and according to family, she'd been the one stable presence.
Also, why is always when I look up like I guess it's like certain neighbors, right? But always in the US, why are the houses always made of like, it seems like they're made out of literally freaking like weak, dry wood, which is like easily flammable. Is that like a thing in like the US? I know not all houses, but like a lot of houses and like neighbors that you see, or at least from the looks of it, they have like these like wooden, like, what are these, like foundations or like these wooden beams and stuff. Like in the Netherlands, you have like almost no houses made out of wood, at least from what I believe. Like most of our houses are made out of just like stone, cement, and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. It's always like caught my eye.
In her younger sister.
All my pictures of my life. All right, and not joking. Edible beans. Edible beans. Nice. What kind of edible beans? I like I really like what are they called again? The beans that they use in poke bowls, like or like most Asian foods, in sushi as well. Forgot what they're freaking called. It's like the green ones. Dang, I can't think of it. Another reason not to live in America. You're right. There's so many reasons to not live in America.
Sarah's
but at the same time, America is kind of, I don't know. I've always been like, or at least I was, pretty fascinated, but more so of like how big America is, and also how many like different landscapes America has. But then you look at the other stuff, you know, that America has, and I don't know.
Life,
I don't
letting
know.
her stay for free, covering for her.
And the biggest collection of waifus, of course.
Buy it. That's
FBI. Get him.
Summer.
Get on his
Stevie
ass.
had reached her limit and told Sarah it was time to move out.
Boys, we got him.
As the ambulance pulled away, neighbors gathered outside the burning house and started asking about her sister Sarah. She told them Sarah had moved out of state weeks earlier. But before she could answer any more questions, she was rushed to the Alta Bates Medical Center in Berkeley. Within days, reporters came to the hospital to interview her and ask her about the attack. Stevie issued a public statement from her hospital bed, urging neighbors to keep up the fight against drugs. About a week later, she wrote a 3-page handwritten letter that was released to the press. It is difficult to imagine people could be this cruel. I have no doubt they intended to murder me and burn my house down on top of me. The story of a 52-year-old woman standing up to drug dealers spread quickly and became much bigger than a neighborhood fire.
I look at these houses. Oh, hold on.
Woman standing up to drug dealers spread quickly and became.
This is like literally pulling if you put a like a lighter close to the house, it looks like it would like be so easily flammable. Is that just me, or I don't know?
Much bigger than a neighborhood fire. Well-wishers across the country sent their cards and letters, as well as donations totaling more than $4,700. Local contractors offered to rebuild the home, and California Governor Pete Wilson announced a $50,000 reward to help police find whoever was behind the attack.
A 50K
Even the White
reward.
House called the hospital to pay their regards. By that point, Stevie had become a symbol of ordinary people standing up to violence in their own neighborhoods. But this narrative fell apart within just 2 weeks when the truth broke out from Stevie's own family. Another sister to Stevie and Sarah had seen the news coverage from the hospital. Even through the burns, something about the woman's behavior on screen didn't sit right. She filed a missing persons report for Stevie Alman, which was a strange thing to do for someone who is supposedly the one lying on the hospital bed. So, when police asked this sister about her suspicions, she said Stevie was a quiet and private person. Stevie would never have filmed drug dealers. She wouldn't have even acknowledged them. She would have looked the other way. She wouldn't do anything. Now, this might sound like a strange reason to question someone's identity, but she wasn't identifying her sister from a scar or a facial feature. She was identifying her from her personality, something only a sibling who grew up with her would know. Investigators who were already chasing suspects behind the firebombing now had to consider whether the woman recovering in the hospital was actually who she claimed to be. When police brought her in, Stevie denied everything. However, after going through her belongings, investigators found 2 IDs inside her wallet, one for Sarah Mitchell and one for Stevie Alman. So they took her fingerprints, and the results came back to a match to a previous arrest made 26 years earlier in 1971.
26 years
The
earlier.
woman in the hospital was Sarah Mitchell, which raised a disturbing question.
Oh.
If Sarah was pretending to be her sister, where was the real Stevie?
Yeah.
On July 15th, investigators went back to the house on 50th Avenue with this new information. Almost immediately, they started seeing the contradictions in Sarah's story. Broken glass from the windows was found outside the home, not inside, which is the opposite of what investigators would expect
Did she
if
do
someone
it?
had thrown a Molotov cocktail through the window. When investigators looked again at the burns on Sarah,
Like the real sister?
pattern didn't match someone fleeing a firebombing. It matched splash burns, which a person normally gets when they start a fire and catch the initial flare. Now, there were multiple other pieces of evidence, but the most disturbing one was found in a 4-foot-long deep freezer near where the blaze had started. The outside had been charred by the fire, but the insulation meant to keep the food frozen had also protected what was inside. When
A body
investigators opened the freezer,
of
they
the
found
real
the
sister.
dismembered remains of Stevie Allman,
Oh,
sealed in
hell
with duct
no.
tape. Her skull had been crushed by a blunt object, and her body had been cut at the arms,
Dang, she got
legs,
killed
and
by her own
waist.
sister.
The
That's
bathroom where Sarah had dismembered her sister had blood on all 4 walls and the ceiling. Stevie had been in the kitchen the entire time, while her killer, her sister, accepted the whole nation's sympathy and donations
What?
using her name. The case did
no
not go-
way. What in the world? So she took all the money because she.
go to
Wow.
trial until November 2000. On November 21, the jury convicted Sarah Mitchell of first-degree murder. She was sentenced to life without parole.
Life without parole. That's what you freaking get. That picture is hella scary, by the way. Dang, so she took on the identity of her sister. She killed her in freaking broad daylight or whatever. And then she took all the funds to rebuild the house, to what other, like the reward and stuff, the 50K reward. Dang, that's insane. Your own sister is also crazy. It's a terrible place to live. Look how bad those houses are. I mean, obviously that's like only in certain neighbors, right? It's due to the fact that wood is cheap over there and they just got a lot of it. But like, since they also like, or at least I don't know how many parts is why would you like build like these like cheaper houses or cheap build houses when you got when you have to deal with hurricanes, tornadoes over there, freaking what other natural causes do they have over there?
April 4th.
Like you would expect to like at least give some reinforcements to your house, right? Or make them stronger. But like the wooden houses and stuff, that's like almost unheard of over here in the Netherlands. So she was a drug dealer. I'm confused about it. Not as crazy. Yeah, so her sister she killed her, took on her identity and collected all the funds and whatnot. I guess it's cheaper to rebuild than to use bricks. I guess so.
2000.
I mean, I don't know if they still do it, but every time I see footage or old footage from like whatever neighborhood in America, I always see like those, like they're made out of. It looks like they're made out of freaking cardboard or something.
24. A passerby walking through Kersal Dale in the UK found parts of a human body wrapped in cling film inside an abandoned concrete bunker.
Bro.
Kersal Dale is a local.
I cannot even imagine just going through on a hike through the woods or whatever like area, and then just finding a freaking bag and there's something in it and you're like so cute you found like just remains of someone. That would be like the
nature reserve
so disturbing
along the River Irwell.
Luckily I've never experienced it though.
It's a stretch of beach,
Thank God,
woodland,
so
and
far.
wetland paths used mostly by dog walkers, runners, and bird watchers. The wider Kersal area is no stranger to crime. Police have run multiple operations here over the years, targeting drug networks and gang activity. But even with that history, this was something else entirely. Detectives later described it as one of the most unprecedented investigations Greater Manchester Police have ever conducted. After finding the remains, police immediately opened a murder investigation, but no one matching the victim had been reported missing. At the time, investigators didn't know the remains belonged to a 67-year-old Stuart Everett, a retired civil servant who lived at 195 Worsley Road in the UK. Stuart had lived there since 2013. It was a modest terraced house where he was the leaseholder, and over the years he sublet the other bedrooms to Polish migrants. Stuart had no kids of his own and had never married. The people closest to him were his brothers and sister in Derby, who called him Benny. Sadly, Stewart had suffered a stroke a few years back, which slowed his speech and left him walking with a stick. But it didn't stop him from helping out his community. Being the son of Polish immigrants himself, he ran English classes for the newly arrived immigrants in Manchester's Polish community. Cool. That was how he originally met a man named Marcin Majerkowicz. By 2017, Marcin had moved in with Stewart, and by 2024, they'd been living together for 7 years. In that time, the two had grown close. Close enough that Stewart had started telling friends and family Marcin was his partner. In one email from 2021, he wrote to a friend about Marcin's tattoos, his shyness, and how the two shared just about everything, including Stewart's email account. At the time, it probably read like a harmless thing between two people who shared a home. But years later, that access would become one of the most unsettling parts of the case. Marcin was 41 years old and had been living in the UK for nearly 20 years. But by November 2023, his life started to fall apart financially. He was unemployed and had taken out roughly £60,000 in loans. He also owed another £13,000 on credit cards, which he hadn't made a payment on in months and couldn't cover.
Guys, I don't know, never, unless you have to for like a study or something else, like, you know, that would like give you like something good for the future.
UK
never take out loans, guys.
But by November 2023,
at least if you know you can't pay them back.
His life.
Unless it's like for a study, like a lot of people or students in the Netherlands take out loans for studies and whatnot because this country is expensive as hell. Other than that, though, if you don't have to, try to.
He was unemployed and had taken out roughly £60,000 in loans. He also owed another £13,000 on credit cards, which he hadn't made a payment.
30,000 plus 60,000, 90,000 in debt.
Payment on in months and couldn't cover his rent. By early 2024, the question was what he was willing to do about it. On the evening of March 27th, Stewart was sitting on a sofa bed in Marcin's bedroom. They were watching a football match like they did most evenings. But at some point that night, Marcin struck Stewart on the top and back of his head at least 4 times with a heavy blunt instrument, most likely a hammer. The force was severe enough to cave in Stewart's skull. Pathological evidence later showed that Stewart survived just long enough to inhale blood into his lungs before he died. The murder itself was the first step in a disturbing plan Marcin had been building for weeks. At 8:11 a.m. the following morning, before moving Stewart's body, Marcin sent a message to the third housemate telling him Stewart had gone to his brother's house for Easter. In reality, he had spent the previous night dismembering Stewart's body on the bedroom floor using a knife and a hacksaw he recently bought specifically for this purpose. He separated the body into at least 27 pieces, wrapped them in cling film and bin bags, and packed them into shopping bags small enough to carry on public transport.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. We already know where this is going. This guy just saw no out in it of his life with all the debt that he has, that he had to murder the old guy to get all of his funds, I guess, or his savings. In the Netherlands, it's harder due to the higher density, I think. Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, every kilometer there are 500 people. Yeah, obviously the Netherlands is also like way smaller than the US. So yeah, the density here is quite higher than over there. But he ruined his own life by being too naive. I don't know what the reason was that he took out, or at least I think he doesn't explain it. Why he took out the loans?
10 a.m.
But yeah,
that same morning, he left the house.
Just try to avoid it if you can, if you have to.
Carrying the first.
If you have to, like for a study or so.
First of those bags. Over the following weeks, Marcin made at least 11 separate journeys by foot and by bus, taking Stewart's remains and spreading them across the nearby area, including parks, woodlands, and nearby waterways. One of those journeys led him to Kersal Dale Nature Reserve, the place where the passerby had originally found Stewart's lower torso and legs. So, by this point, the police had part of the victim's body, but no missing person in Derby matched the description. Unfortunately, this wasn't by accident. Disposing Stewart's body was the second part of his depraved plan. The third and final part was to steal his identity. Marcin used Stewart's phone and sent a message to his family in Derby telling them he'd fallen ill and couldn't speak on the phone anymore.
There is no way.
So, as far as his family knew, Stewart was still alive and well and had been messaging them all week. Keeping the lie alive meant he could control Stewart's money without raising suspicion. He hired a mover to clear out Stewart's belongings and rented a dumpster to dispose of anything that was left. When the family started noticing things disappearing, he told them Stewart was moving out. At one point, he even filmed inside another property and sent them the footage as if Stewart were showing them his new place. With nobody
What?
questioning why Stewart had suddenly gone silent, Marcin started stealing everything Stewart owned. Using Stewart's login details, he changed the passwords to his bank accounts, accessed his government gateway and pension details, and even started applying for a loan in his name. But as much as he wanted to avoid a direct confrontation speaking as Stewart, he couldn't avoid it forever. When Stewart's phone company needed to deal directly with the account holder, Marcin picked up the phone and answered in a slow and slurred voice, mimicking the stroke Stewart had suffered years earlier. Even on his brother's birthday, Marcin sent a handwritten birthday card. By then, Stewart had
Wow.
been dead for 2 weeks. The
2
Greater
weeks
Manchester
already.
Police's specialized CCTV unit had started reviewing thousands of hours of footage from the surrounding area. Eventually, they identified a figure they started calling the Heavy Bag Man, who stood out because of the way he moved. On CCTV, he could be seen leaving the house with heavy bags and visibly struggling with the weight, and later returning empty-handed. Investigators traced his bus journeys and slowly narrowed his home area down to Winton. They started spending time in the area looking for more CCTV footage. On April 25, 2 of them were driving an unmarked car when one of the investigators glanced at a man in a dark beanie and recognized him. They followed him to the bus stop and called for backup. Before the bus drove away, a uniformed officer stepped in and pulled Marcin out in handcuffs.
Down in front of you. Be inside, you're detained for the purpose of a search while we ascertain your identity, okay?
Or if you could pass me your mobile number for
Just one stand up first.
Oh, he caught. You're done now, boy.
Check, please. Got to check his pockets.
It's definitely a mistake. 100%.
I know, I appreciate that. All we've had is information passed to us from officers investigating a serious matter as to whether you may be involved.
Happened and just like
not,
I
not
told
right
you.
now. Not today, but it has happened recently. Okay.
In his possession at
Bro,
that moment,
sometimes the UK accents can get crazy. Oh, man. And he's also being too stupid. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely being stupid to even like that thought like crossed his mind. But yeah, I got a study loan though, but it's not like the government go after me. True. I mean, it's normal for over here in the Netherlands for students, right? At least like a lot of people that I know of like when I studied had to take a loan because it's just so goddamn expensive following a study. Even if you do multiple studies, it's like way too expensive. So almost nobody can pay it unless you got like parents that pay for your study. Yeah, you have to like take a loan out of the bank to pay for your study. I just save up money my money. I only spend my money on food and video games though. Hell freaking yeah, Bob. I actually am pretty good at saving money because I'm gonna be honest, I was pretty lazy in my childhood when I was a kid still. I didn't want to work and therefore I was broke as hell. But the thing that being broke will actually teach you, or at least I don't know if it's for everybody, but at least it teach me to really like be good with saving my money and stuff. Because yeah, I don't know, it's just throughout being broke back in the day, I learned to freaking save my money on a lot of things. And it was not like I was a cheapskate, but it was more like if I didn't have to go to the barber every 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I didn't went to the barber and save my money in order to buy that one video game or the one piece of clothing or new shoes or whatever. But yeah, that's that way I don't know, I learned to control my spendings and whatnot pretty well, I would say. And now that I actually have adult money, I just spend it on whatever the frick I want, bro. I buy the most dumbest stuff. I buy freaking anime figures, cards. I spent, bro, a couple of months ago, back when I got back into Pokemon, I went kind of a little bit out of control with my spendings. There was literally like 1 month I spent like 1.5K on Pokemon cards. But that was like a little bit, that was like over exaggerated. That was over exaggerated. At that point I was like, I might need to actually chill. I might actually need to chill. I spent like 1.5K in 1 month on Pokemon cards. Yeah, that was not the smartest thing to do. Although I will say, Pokemon cards has been going up. I hate what it has become too, but yeah. The guy is a loser for doing that. Yeah, he is. Well, we still need to watch the video. Obviously, he's yapping Zenki right now, but I'm not broke. I pre-order MW4 for 90 bucks on Steam though. Yeah, I mean, you have work, right, Bob? If you have work, then you know, most of the time have nothing to worry about. It's just finding work in the first place and actually wanting to work, because I was a lazy
moment where Stuart
person back in the day. New CPU, Zenki. The thing is, if I feel like I don't have to spend stuff on new things, I don't need to.
Everett's
What I do need is a freaking haircut, though. Speaking of the barber, I might need to visit the barber next week.
phone and bank cards.
Or this week,
Investigators
I
later
mean.
found out that Marcin was planning to permanently leave the country that day and had been searching for properties in Spain weeks earlier. Marcin was charged with murder. His trial began at Manchester Crown Court nearly a year later, in March 2025. Marcin never testified at trial. When the verdict was read, he showed no emotion and never apologized to Stuart's family. Only a third of Stuart's body was ever recovered, and Marcin refused to assist investigators in locating the rest. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 34 years.
34
Marcin,
years. Bro, he murdered the freaking guy. Give him freaking life without parole.
Yurkovitz for the murder of Stuart
Wait, do they still do that in England? In the courtyard? Do the judges still wear the wigs? That's actually fire.
Everett, I sentence you to imprisonment
I mean, I guess that's a wig, right?
for life, taking account of all the relevant circumstances and the aggravating and mitigating factors that I have set out. The appropriate minimum
Or not courtyard. I meant court. In court, not courtyard. Court. Well, what kind of work do you do if you don't want to tell? It's cool. I get it. I work at McDonald's. You know, flipping burgers and stuff. McDonald's has been going chill. If you ever want advice to how I should make a Big Mac, you know, just all you got to do is ask. I also had enough money for RTX 5090 gaming PC pre-build, but it's not really worth it. 5070 Ti is enough. I don't play 4K games anyway. For me, 4040p is enough. Yeah, 4040p is good. But yeah, I mean, you know, you have work, Bob, so I'm sure you it's as much as sometimes you don't wanna be working and you wanna do other stuff, or you're too lazy to work. At the end of the day, the money that you get from it is kind of a motivation.
will be 34 years.
The judge confirmed the murder was premeditated and motivated entirely by financial gain. 5 days before the killings, he'd looked up how much it would cost to borrow £50,000. With £60,000 in unpaid loans, credit card debts, and unpaid rent, Marcin's answer to his money problems turned out to be Stuart's life.
Yep.
A life which was brutally ended, and for weeks after, his identity was stolen by his killer.
He took him, the old man took him in, he took care of him, they grew connected to each other and stuff. And what way to thank him, bro? He just freaking straight up murdered him. For money.
On August 20...
How would... I know like there's a lot of people, like not only in the Netherlands, but like all over the world, that have like high, you know, amounts of debts. And I really feel for them most of the time, unless it's for like stupid reasons. Sometimes you really can't avoid it, I guess. But like, how do you end up like taking, for example, a big loan out of the bank other than like a study? I mean, I know in the US it's pretty common with like health costs and stuff. Yeah. You really work at McDonald's? Yes. Yeah, bro. McDonald's pays good, don't you know? I was able to get a house, to buy a house last year. I drive a car.
2000.
I can buy everything I want, basically, most of it.
2010.
McDonald's underrated, bro. Flipping those burgers every day.
A group of trail bikers.
What's wrong with McDonald's? It's a normal job and you get paid enough for it. Yeah, definitely. Like, there's nothing wrong with McDonald's. It was not in that note, Bob. It was not in that tone.
Riders cutting through the fire
yeah, bro.
trails
McDonald's
of Belanglo
underrated.
State Forest between Sydney in Canberra, Australia, found human bones.
I will say the food of McDonald's have been kind of like
Scattered across the forest floor.
not
Among
very
the
good
remains
as
was
of
a
lately.
skull. There was also a small silver earring, a single child-sized sock, and a decomposed women. There was also a small.
Yeah, guys. I mean, there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. Okay.
Small silver earring, a forest floor between Sydney and Canberra, Australia. On
Next
August
story
20.
though. How late is it? We have been live for almost 2 hours. Dang, bro. It's Yap session tonight.
2010, a group of trail bike riders cutting through the fire trails of Belanglo State Forest between Sydney and Canberra, Australia, found human bones scattered
Australia.
across the forest floor. Among the remains was a skull. There was also a small silver earring.
No, of course not. I'm not judging at all.
A single child-sized sock and a
What?
decomposed women's t-shirt with one word printed across the front, angelic. For the next 5 years, that word was almost all the evidence investigators had about the victim. They ran her DNA against every state and federal database and cross-checked her against every open missing persons report in the country.
Dude, not in that tone. Come on, man, Zenki. What do you mean? What do you mean? Nah, I'm not judging, obviously.
No one matching her description had ever been reported missing.
As long as people, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as you earn money even, it's,
This could have meant one of two things.
I respect it. Everybody should get their money.
Either no one was looking for her,
Go out there,
or
guys.
someone had
Get some money so you'll be able to afford the things you want. That is the downside of chat. Nah, we're messing with you, Valentine. We're messing with you. You're good.
made it look like there was no reason to. Because of how little evidence the case produced, investigators named her the Angel of Belanglo. By late 2011, the
Angel of
case had been open
Belanglo.
for over a year without any progress. With no leads left, police reconstructed.
I don't care what you all do, the only thing is that you need to be happy. That's true. As long as you're happy in what you do and you make money so you can do the stuff that you want, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
The woman's face from her skull and recovered hair, hoping someone in the public might recognize her. The result was a haunting image. When the sketch was released, 35 tips came
That's a
in from
pretty good
people who-
drawing. I will say that is a pretty good drawing, because sometimes when you see those drawings of like people that they got a sketch, or like victims or suspects that they got a sketch, sometimes they look like very weird. I mean, I guess you gotta go off of like details that you get, but yeah. Yeah, work is work. Who cares about it? Yeah, true. Well, except for criminal stuff, that's illegal. Exactly, Bob. Good that you added that. Of course, if you don't love your job or it's a really bad job, it's going to be hard. Yeah, that's the most important thing. I can definitely give you advice, or not advice, but like, if you don't got a job that you enjoy or love, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time.
thought they recognized her. Sadly, every
Maybe unless it pays like very, very good, you'll be able to get away with it. But other than that,
single one of them fell apart on fall.
like maybe like the job in itself is not as like enjoyable as you would want, but like the payout is like very like motivating, you know? That could like maybe balance it out, but most of the time it's best to just go for something you enjoy. Although I will say, I think the job market in the Netherlands is in a rough state, kind of, nowadays. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. I mean, I have had jobs in the factory, like a side job, but I couldn't image doing that all my life, to be honest. Some people do love it, but for me, nah. I mean, yeah, everyone is like different, right? Some people enjoy like having a stable, balanced like job that doesn't change like too much, and they like to do like every work day needs to be the same for them. And other people like you know, other people like doing it for, or like to have like, how do you say that? It's kind of hard for me to explain sometimes, but you know, they love to have like different tasks within their job or do different stuff every day within their job. If that makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, I'm better at explaining it in Dutch, but we like to keep it English. All the jobs are boring. I only do it for the money. He's not right. Or I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not completely wrong about that. I will say money is the biggest freaking motivation.
By 2050.
I'm broke, Zenki. Give me money. How much you want? 20k? 1k? 5k? Bro, I spent way too much in the last months. But also because of like renovation on the house. So yeah, a new kitchen. I will say, guys, if y'all ever freaking buy a new house or whatever, or your own house, a new kitchen is going to cost you a lot.
5 years had passed.
Now in the Netherlands, you have pretty good stuff with like oh dang, this is gonna be hard to freaking. What's subsidies called in English? Basically like regulations or like stuff that you can request to get some extra money to like reinforce your house or make it like more sustainable. Those help a lot. But still, a new kitchen, bro.
And the
new kitchens are expensive as hell.
Angel of Belangolo was still unidentified. The only people trying to 5
Enough
years had
yapping.
passed.
Let me just watch the video. I haven't been paying attention to this case at all. So there were two guys riding a motorcycle through the woods. They found a shoe or a sock of a little girl. They made a sketch, and that's where we were at,
by
right?
2015.
But to be honest, I just imagined Zenki going to the office. I don't know why, but that was what I was thinking. I was totally wrong. I'm messing with you, Valentine. I always like to tell people I work at McDonald's. I'm not gonna say what I do for work though, IRL. But you know, we'll keep it at I work at McDonald's. If anyone pops into the stream and asks me what I do, I flip them burgers at McDonald's. Right now, I spend so much money on food. I always order food and eat low, bro. And then you go and then you complain about your stomach hurting. Then that bro's gonna go to the toilet for like an hour.
Passed and
Dang. Ordering McDonald's though. I never ordered McDonald's in my life. I always like pick up McDonald's since it's usually not that far off.
The Angel of Belangolo was still unidentified. The only people trying to figure out her identity were the police, which raised a disturbing question. Why hadn't the family of the victim reported her missing? Or did they think she was still alive? Her real name was found out to be Carly Pierce Stevenson, a 22-year-old mother from Alice Springs in Australia's Northern Territory. She had given birth to a baby girl, Candelise, in 2006 when she was only 17. By late 2008, Carly had been seeing a 34-year-old man named Daniel Holdham for around 2 months and wanted a fresh start. So, in early November, she packed her car and left Alice Springs with him and Candelise. To Carly's family, the decision came out of nowhere. Her aunt Sharon would later tell 60 Minutes Australia that the announcement was, quote, a bit of a shock. Their plan was to head south down the Stewart Highway and find work in Adelaide. By mid-November 2008, Carly's life started falling apart. She called Tanya Weber her mother's best friend and the closest thing she had to a second mother. She was crying and saying she'd made a mistake leaving with Daniel and wanted to come home.
For a week and a half after she left, she rang me up. She was crying. She just said to me that she thought she f***ed up. She wanted to come home by the sounds of things. And I said, well, I can book a flight, I can pay for a flight, do you have money? No, you know, it's okay. And by the end of the conversation, she was sort of back to her giggly laughing self. So I didn't think too much more of it.
Sadly, this was the last time anyone who ever loved Carly would hear her voice. A few weeks later, in the early hours of December 15, Daniel drove Carly into Belangolo State Forest. What happened there was reconstructed later from physical evidence, photographs recovered from an SD card Daniel kept for years, and witness testimonies. Carly was violated before Daniel dropped his full body weight onto her chest and throat, crushing her hyoid bone with enough force to break her neck. After ending her life, he photographed her body in multiple positions, some of which closely matched the arrangement of her remains as investigators found them years later. He left her on the forest floor, partially hidden behind a fallen log, still wearing the angelic t-shirt. Over the next few days, he started erasing what was left of her. He scrubbed out her car and traded it in for an older model. All the while, Candelise was still living with him. On December 19th,
Ain't no
he
way.
took her to a nearby motel and checked in under a fake name. According to his ex-girlfriend, this is where Daniel would allegedly shove dishcloth into her mouth, suffocating her. Afterward, he wrapped her body in a
Bro.
motel towel, placed her inside a suitcase, and drove west into
Why?
South Australia.
Was the
where he
motive, like,
abandoned
known?
it along the highway.
This guy is sick
The
in his head.
suitcase would remain there, undiscovered, for nearly 7 years. Over the next 2.5 years,
7
Daniel
years.
used Carly's phone to send text messages to her family and friends, pretending to be her. The messages said she was living in a different city, that she was fine, and didn't want to be contacted. When Carly's mother, Colleen, grew worried and reached out, the response text she got asked for money. Colleen wired funds multiple times, believing she was helping her daughter. Daniel and his then-girlfriend kept withdrawing money from Carly's bank account across multiple Australian cities, which amounted to almost $100,000 in total. By
Jeez.
September 2009,
She got a lot of
Colleen hadn't
savings.
seen Carly or Candelise in almost a year, and her calls were going unanswered. Conversation through text had also become inconsistent. So, on September 4, Colleen went to the police and filed a missing person report. But when police checked Carly's bank account and phone records, both showed recent activity. As far as the system was concerned, Carly Pierce Stevenson was alive, and the report was closed by September 10th. Eventually, Colleen withdrew the report a month later in October.
that's not Carly.
Now, some could argue that the police were insincere and lazy with their investigation. But the truth is, they were looking at the exact same things anyone else would have trusted: her phone, her bank account, and recent activity under her name. The problem was that none of it actually belonged to Carly anymore. So neither her or Candelise were officially missing in online records. On July 14, 2015, a passing motorist on the highway stopped to see an abandoned suitcase on the roadside.
Oh no, it's the remains
Inside
of
were the skeletal remains of a
the
young
young girl.
child wrapped in a blood-stained towel with dishcloths stuffed in her mouth and duct tape around her skull.
What in
Police
the
immediately
world?
distributed the images of the child's clothing across the country and publicly appealed for anyone with a lead to come forward. After more than 1,200 Crime Stoppers calls, Tanya Weber contacted police. The same Tanya who had offered Carly plane tickets years earlier. She recognized some of the clothing, which looked similar to what Carly used to dress Candelise with. Later, DNA testing confirmed the child in the suitcase was Candelise. A familial DNA comparison then connected her to the unidentified remains in Belangolo. The infamous Angel of Belangolo was her mother. By the time police came for Daniel Holdom, he was already in prison, serving time for the assault of another underage victim. He was eventually convicted
Another
of both
freaking
murders
underage
and
victim. Bro,
sentenced to
get
2
that man
life
out of here.
terms without parole.
Kill him already. In Minecraft.
In mid-July 19,
What was the motives though?
he
Were
was
these, like,
eventually
no?
convicted of both murders and sentenced to 2 life terms without parole.
2 life terms. How? That doesn't even make sense. Like 2 life sentences. Why? That's just like. That's not even like how. I don't get that. Let's see. You need a save, Bob. Get that nice PC, TV, monitor. I already have a powerful game PC and monitor. I'm all good. I don't really need a TV. I don't watch TV. A good pair of headphones or for gaming. Oh shoot. I actually want a new pair of. Well, I don't really need a new pair, but I want a wireless one. One that I can like have wireless and wired. A new pair of headphones. I'm gonna appear in one of these videos someday. Bro, don't say that, Starnes. Come on now. This guy. I just use an old Sony earplugs. It's comfortable. I don't really need a big headphone. Headphones are super like good for gaming, though, especially for Call of Duty. They are like really like a good pair of headphones. I got I don't know what brand is this again. Oh, I think it's from a brand called Sennheiser. They make really good like headphones, not gaming headphones, but that's where a lot of people like don't make the best purchases. They always aim for the gaming headset. The gaming headsets and stuff, those are I would say those are not good. You need to invest in a headphones that has like good audio and good bass, especially. Like Sennheiser makes very good headphones. If I ever get money, I want to buy those rotating planets that's cost like 250 euros. What a rotating planets? What do you mean? 250 euro. Rotating planets? What is this? Ain't no way this costs so much. What? 2K? How does this cost 2K? Rotating planets. Ain't no way that costs so much. What the frick is that? Do I need to buy that? Do I want to buy that? Rotating planets. Okay. Obviously, we're not going to get the thing that we're looking for. If I ever got money, I'd buy a new graphics card and get rid of my 1030 GT. A 1030 GT. That's crazy. Couldn't you pick up a second-hand GPU? I don't have the money. Okay. So on what resolution do you play games? 480p? I'm joking. Also, not for the need. I'm doing kind of... okay. 1360 by 7020, I think. Jeez. If you don't have enough money, you can just get the RTX 5060. It's not that expensive. Bro said it's not that expensive. Oh, wow, bro. A 50, how much is a 5060 nowadays? Bro said it's not that expensive. It's like one of the most expensive ones, right, out there. How much is a 5060 nowadays going for? What? Okay, hold on. Whoa. I was way off. Okay. Actually, it's not that... I mean, it's still like quite a bit of money, obviously, but it's not as expensive as I thought it would be. Bro, what? A 56... How much is a 5080? How much is a freaking 5080? Bro, these things are like almost as or cheaper than freaking RAM storage, I believe. Buy? How much is a 5080? Okay, a 58. Whoa, what a difference though. Why is the difference so big? What about oh wait, I'm also looking at the TI option. How much is a 5070? RTX? Okay, 600. Okay, that's already a bit, you know, more expensive. Okay, dang, a 5060 is not that expensive. Maybe it's not that good. I don't know. I have a 1030 GT and I still managed to play Helldivers 2 in R graded. Bro is the master of freaking tweaking his settings to play higher demanding games. Okay, hang on. Hang on, 1,000,000 pesos. I even played Red Dead Redemption 2 online for a bit, had to quit because some textures wouldn't load. Because RTX 5060 is not really that powerful, that's why it's cheap. Oh, I see. Sarn says the Faluda just pesos. Yeah, I think the Faluda is pesos, right? That they're talking about, or that they use in Argentina. RTX 5060 is just good for 1080p. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
In mid-July 1990, 34-year-old Beverly McGowan placed a small ad in the paper looking for a roommate to help cover the mortgage on her condo in Pompano Beach, Florida. After a few days, a woman with a polished British accent showed up at her door. But what Beverly didn't know was that the woman wasn't actually looking for a place to live. Beverly was a loan processor at Glendale Federal Bank. She was a simple woman who didn't put much of herself on display. She did have a small rose tattoo on the back of her right ankle, but most of the time it stayed hidden under the hem of her jeans. A few years earlier, Beverly had lost 2 boyfriends in separate car accidents. She'd been mostly on her own ever since.
She lost 2 boyfriends in separate car accidents. Kinda sus. Kinda suspicious.
When the boyfriends, at the time it stayed hidden under the hem of her jeans. A few years earlier, Beverly had lost 2 boyfriends in separate car accidents. She'd been mostly on her own ever since.
That's very interesting. 2 boyfriends in 2 separate okay, car crashes. Problem is that most of our money here goes for Meds Hospital. People will come and care for more meds. 1,000,000. My GPU is RTX 5070 Ti. That GPU is good for 1440p. What about a 4070 Ti? The one that I have. Is that good for 4040p as well? I mean, I game in 4040p, so I'm assuming it is. 1,000,000 Argentinian pesos is around 600 euros. Whoa, dang, that is expensive then. Jeez. Yeah, the 5060 is worth 800k. Wow. On a sale. So 800 pesos, right?
So when the woman knocked at her door, Beverly was alone. The woman introduced herself as Alice. Alice explained she was a junior executive at IBM and needed a temporary place to live while her work was relocating her. She was friendly, attentive, and easy to talk to, and within weeks she had moved in. That night, Alice mentioned she was studying numerology, an ancient belief that a person's birth date and name can reveal their personality and life path, and she offered to do a free reading. But Alice asked for everything, from her social security number, passport information, driver's license information, and bank details. Now, none of this is information most people would hand to a stranger, but after spending a week with her, Alice didn't feel like a stranger, so Beverly wrote it all down and didn't think much of it. The next morning, July 18th, a woman called Beverly's work claiming to be her. She didn't ask for Beverly's supervisor, who would have recognized her voice instantly. Instead, she asked for the head of security and said she was sick and hung up.
On July 18th, an individual calling herself Beverly McGowan calls in sick to work, and unfortunately, nobody ever sees Beverly McGowan again.
18 minutes later, 2 long-distance calls went out from Beverly's phone, booking a hotel near Heathrow Airport and a rental car in her name. Over the next 2 days, Beverly's credit card moved across Miami, building a paper trail of someone preparing to leave the country. The transactions included clothing stores, an ATM withdrawal, and a pair of shoes. Then, on July 20, it appeared at a travel agency where someone booked a one-way flight to London for July 22. Around that same period, multiple handwritten letters were dropped in a Miami postbox addressed to Beverly's brother Steve, her sister Jane, and a close friend. Each one said that she had decided to sell her condo and leave town to start a new chapter of her life.
Would y'all ever freaking... I know that's I think it's more of a US thing, but will y'all ever stay like over at a night at like one of those motels near the road? I've heard some weird stories always happening with these like motels down the road. I don't know if I would like book a room over there for the night. Maybe if I would be with a lot of people, like a group. Hold on. Why can't I freaking scroll up? Oh my god, please Twitch. Just let me scroll up. Yeah, the 5060 worth 800k on the sale is actually 1.6 million. The one Zenki has is 2.3 million. RTX 4070 is also, Ti is also good for 4040p. The 4070 is 2.3k. You guys are talking about pesos right now, right? RTX 4070 Ti and RTX 5070 Ti are also good for 4K, but then you can only run games at 60 FPS. That's not enough FPS. It isn't. Oh, thought Zenki had a 5070? Nah. I got a 4070 Ti, and as long as it's like keeping up, like I could like upgrade, but I don't feel like I need to upgrade right now. Because I never run my games on like the maximum resolution. Purely because I want a healthy balance between graphics and FPS. But yeah. That's why I don't build a PC, because RAM prices got too expensive. It's better to build a pre-built PC. I don't think so, to be honest. I think pre-builds will always be more expensive than if you build them yourself. Yeah, Zenki's cards for me is worth from 2.5 million to almost 3. The RTX 4070 Ti. Wait, how much is that in like dollars or euros?
Life. Beverly's brother Steve had actually opened his letter a day earlier on July 19 and immediately felt that something was wrong. Beverly had just bought that condo and started rebuilding her life.
When I saw the letter, I was very disturbed by it. For her to leave didn't make any sense because she was giving up everything that she'd worked so hard for. And then once I was reading the letter and I get down the bottom and I see that goodbye, I said she was trying to tell me something at that point. I can show you 100 letters from her to different people. There's not one of them say any more than Bev. I think that there was somebody there with her when she was writing my letter.
Trying to force Beverly to call home, Steve canceled her credit card.
I'm sorry, by the way, if I'm pausing the video all the time, guys. I just want to be up to date with y'all messages. Glad I got my DDR5 32 gigs 2 years ago, because then, yeah, the prices are insane. I unfortunately got DDR4 sticks, I believe. Right? Do I got DDR4? I do got 32 gigabytes of RAM, but I think I got DDR4. I bought the Corsair Vengeance once back in the day, and they are DDR4. For your information, a lot of times I go to the pharmacy and I spend 100K. How much is that in like dollars? I don't really know how to. I bought my gaming PC for $2,700 worth it. I mean, yeah, you bought it like probably as a good deal, but like in general, I guess pre-built would always be like more expensive. Test can cost around 200K sometimes. Every million pesos is around 600 euros, Zenki. You can calculate it. Okay, so my card would be what, like, dang, that's like, whoa, that's like 1,400 euros. So 2 million would be 1,200 euros. Then add up around like, oh no, what, not 1,400, 1,300 euros. Wow. Okay, those prices are insane. I know I think in Australia as well, or like New Zealand or something, you can also get like games for over there on Steam. If I'm not mistaken, they can get pretty expensive as well.
That turned out to be a fatal mistake. The moment that card stopped working, investigators lost the ability to track down whoever had been using it. That same evening, nearly 100 miles north in St. Lucie County, a fisherman found a female body in an unspeakably gruesome state. The head had been removed, and both hands had been cut off. The skin over the upper left abdomen had been carved away, erasing what used to be a tattoo. It was clear whoever had done this
The murderer tried to cover up the tattoo that she had.
Didn't want to leave behind anything investigators could use to identify the victim. But they missed one small detail. The small yellow rose on her right ankle was still there. The police used it to identify the victim.
Oh wait, never mind.
It was Beverly McGowan.
I thought he was gonna remove
the person
that
who had
tattoo.
booked British Airways Flight 292 was almost certainly her killer. When investigators pulled the passenger list,
Wait, who was the killer?
It was Beverly McGowan, which meant the person who had booked British Airways Flight 292 was almost certainly her killer. When investigators pulled the passenger list, they expected to see Beverly's name on it, or possibly
was someone else.
the mysterious roommate who had vanished alongside her. But neither name was on there. The list just had a row of unfamiliar passenger names on a flight to
Then
London.
who freaking stole her
One of them was
identity?
a British woman named Sylvia Ann Hodgkinson. Less than a year later, in May 19...
Okay. My specs, my PC specs are this GPU is RTX 5070 Ti and CPU is Ryzen 7 7800 and 32 RAM and 2TB SSD, and I have DDR5. Yeah, I might upgrade my if there's gonna be a part that I want to upgrade, it's probably my CPU. But then again, I got a pretty good, even though y'all freaking make fun of my CPU all the time. But yeah. What up, Mobster? How you doing, bro? How you doing? Welcome in. We are just doing something else today. We're chilling today, watching some videos, having a chat. We're currently watching killers who stole their victim identities. We're watching like the YouTube channel called Chilling Scares, and yeah, it's really interesting videos. Even though the chat has been going on for talking about PC specs. But that's what we're here for, right? We can talk about all kinds of things, except for politics. We'll leave politics out of here. Zenki is watching bad news videos, and here we are talking about PC stuff. That's what I'm saying. the streams could go either way. Like we don't have a standard topic. What's your CPU? My CPU is a Intel i7 13 Gen. Hold on, let me check. I can see that, right? Somewhere. I think I can PC system. I think it's an Intel i7 13 Gen. Okay. Yeah, that's some letter behind it, so I was able to overclock my CPU.
91.
Zenki Discord gifted me. Zenki Discord gifted me free Nitro for a month out of nowhere. Oh shoot, nice. What else? What are the benefits of like having Nitro for Discord? What are these what are the like the main benefits of getting Discord Nitro? Got the same as Bob, but a RX 7900G RES GPU and 6TB of storage. I'm not familiar with all the Ryzen stuff. That's good, bro. Yeah, I know. I got a pretty good PC. A 4070 Ti and a Intel i7 like 13 Gen. 32 gigabytes of RAM. DDR4. I do want to upgrade to DDR5, but I mean, it's freaking expensive. So yeah, I would say my PC is pretty good. So I definitely don't feel like upgrading anytime soon. These videos remind me of The Boys, and then when they killed that soup and threw him into the river in a box. Which soup do you mean? Bro, The Boys, disappointing ending. Disappointing ending. I don't like what they did with the ending. I don't like how they freaking imaged Homelander in the final freaking episodes. They turned him into a freaking like a wussy. I just don't like Intel. AMD is better. I mean, there's like both sides to it, right? Intel is better for like, I believe, multitasking. AMD is mainly focused on gaming, right? Yeah, AMD is good, but that CPU is solid. Yeah, I know. I definitely like from 13th gen onwards, or maybe even like lower end CPUs are pretty solid. I can stream with better quality, get some fancy stuff for my profile, different font for my name, and can use GIFs for my banner and profile picture. You mean streaming through like sharing your screen, right? In like a call. That's pretty cool, I would say. The other stuff is like mainly cosmetic. Although 720p is like also like manageable, I would say. Season 1, the guy who could go invincible. Oh! Translucent? Wasn't he called Translucent? And what's the box made of? Deep? Zinc Homelander. They had to chop him into pieces and threw him into a box and eventually in the river. Yeah, that was Translucent, right? The Boys was good at season 1 and 2, but later it got terrible. Yup, unfortunately it did. Okay, I'm gonna watch the video a bit, guys. We have been postponing watching.
A patrol officer in Miami Beach noticed a woman asleep at the wheel of a parked rental car. The car was overdue and the plate had been switched. When officers searched her, they found 3 separate IDs, the first of which being a British passport for Sylvia Hodgkinson. Then there was also a Florida driver's license belonging to a real woman in Orlando named Charlotte Ray Cohen, and a third license under the name Elaine Parent. For
3
the purpose
different
of
names.
clarity, I'll call her Elaine for the rest of this video. Elaine was caught in possession of multiple stolen IDs, so the police took her fingerprints and held her overnight in jail, but she was released without charges. Meanwhile, 5 more years passed without a single break in the Beverly case. But all of that changed in December 1996. An investigator who had been following the case from the beginning was going through old evidence for anything the team might have missed. Looking again at the British Airways Flight 292 passenger list, she ran each of the 248 names against the US Department of State's database. One name triggered an alert, that being the name Sylvia Ann Hodgkinson. When they opened the Hodgkinson file, they found that it was part of a string of aliases belonging to a single identity theft. The State Department's records also showed something else. The Hodgkinson alias was linked to 2 other names, Charlotte Ray Cohen and Elaine Parent, the same names that were on the 2 other IDs recovered from the killer's wallet at the Miami Beach arrest. One of them, Charlotte Ray Cohen, belonged to a real woman in Orlando.
Look at that dog.
When investigators reached her,
Jeez.
Charlotte told them she'd never been to Miami in her life. What she did remember was a night in Orlando in the late 1980s at a bar, where she'd met a charismatic British woman who had asked her for her personal numbers for a numerology reading. It was now confirmed that the woman with the 3 IDs was Beverly's murderer. Elaine had approached all of her victims in the same way,
So
just
Elaine.
with shifting accents and different names. And by 1998, she knew the police were looking for her. Later that year, a postcard arrived at the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Department, mailed from London. On the front was a photograph of an oil painting, a woman climbing out of a swimming pool, signed Piper. On the back, a typed message read, "Your chameleon, best
Chameleon?
wishes." She would stay ahead of the police for 4 more years until April 6,
Piccadilly.
2002,
The Piccadilly
when a rerun
Circus.
of America's Most Wanted aired in Panama City, Florida. After the episode aired, tips came in from Panama City residents who said a woman resembling the chameleon killer was living nearby. When officers got to the address, a woman in night clothes opened the door. She spoke in a flat American accent and handed over her military dependent ID. But when the officers examined it closely, they noticed the rank on the ID used British military terminology that doesn't exist in the US service. It was immediately clear she was using a fake ID. Before they could take her to the station for questioning, Elaine asked to change out of her night clothes. She closed the door, walked back to her bedroom, and shot herself through the heart with a revolver. Afterwards,
Wow.
when officers searched the room, they found men's clothing, a gray wig, a stage makeup kit, and a fake passport. But nothing that confirmed her real identity. Whatever name she had been born with, she took it to the grave with her.
Oh, so she was never identified as like who she really was. The chameleon killer. What? Dang. What are y'all saying, by the way? Hold on, let me quickly. Why, for some reason, I sometimes like can't scroll up. It's so annoying. Okay. All right. The Boys was good at season 1 and 2, but later got terrible. Funny that scene. I hated The Boys season 3 and 4 and 5 is garbage. I don't hate it season 3. I think season 3 was like pretty good, I would say, with the introduction of Soldier Boy. The Boys would have been extremely good if they stopped being annoying lips and stopped trying to make fun of Trump every 5 seconds and actually focus on the story. Nah, season 3 is so goaty. I agree. Season 3 is actually like, I would say, was a pretty good season. Season 4 really was where it started to get kind of dropping off, in my opinion. The Boys fighting with Powers 2 was really cool. I hated season 3 how they killed Black Noir and how they turned Black Noir into a weak man, and also did not like the ending. And I hate how they needed Soldier Boy and yet nothing happens. I will say the way it ended with Soldier Boy, like all the build up and he was just like pretty easily killed off. That was kind of disappointing. Black Noir was better in the comic. I don't know about the comics though. The Chameleon Killer is such a cool name, dude. It is. It is the Chameleon Killer. Okay, we have one more video, and I think we're gonna wrap it up after this though. 5 most disturbing security camera hackings.
On the evening of January 20th.
God. I can't even imagine having. I don't even want like security cameras installed like inside my home for this particular reason. Getting freaking hacked, bro. If I were a serial killer, let's not go there. I would love to get a cool ass name like that. Let's not go there. Let's not go too far. At his doorstep. A-Star, when are you gonna upload new videos on YouTube? Wait, you're checking his YouTube channel? There's a huge project I've been working on that's coming around July or before. Oh, shoot, what are you working with? Is it the... What was it called again that you're working on? It was something related to Zomboid? Project Zomboid? Not sure though. Also, Mobster, if you are still here, how are you doing? How was your weekend going? And it'll be a video in English. I want to watch VOD Rising TV show because they disrespect the boys. Oh yeah, that's right. They announced like the new series, right? With Soldier Boy
20,
as the main cast.
2009. On the evening
Okay, 5 most disturbing home security camera hackings, bro. This is gonna be a freaking... Gonna be a wild one.
January 20, 2019, 29-year-old Arjun Sood and his wife Jessica put their 7-month-old son Oliver to bed in his nursery at their home in Lake Barrington, Illinois. What they didn't know was that someone else was already in the room with them. It was getting late and Arjun had work in the morning. Like many busy parents, Arjun had set up a Nest baby monitor to check in on Oliver from his phone without getting out of bed. The Nest thermostat was set to 72 so the room would stay comfortable through the night. Arjun had spent roughly $4,000 outfitting the house with Nest products over the years.
Nest
17
products.
Cameras.
That's from Google, right? Like I only got 2 cameras, and that is a like from Ring, the Ring doorbell. Are these known to can get hacked pretty easily? Hopefully not.
Placed throughout the home and around the exterior.
But they're not inside my home. They're just for the as like when someone like delivers a package. By the way, that's such a freaking game changer. Having a Ring doorbell.
And a full security system. He was an avid user of the technology and clearly trusted it enough to build much of his home security around it. But shortly after putting Oliver down, Arjun was standing in the hallway out.
Bro, I believe... I'm sorry if I keep pausing the video so frequently. But it's better, I think, than I just talk over the audio. But there's literally a website where you're able to like view like public or CCTV cameras. And sometimes they were even like inside homes, from what I believe. I think there's a website for them.
Inside the nursery when he heard something from inside the room. It sounded like a deep male voice speaking directly to his son through the camera speaker.
No.
He rushed into the room, but no one was there. He thought maybe it was just an interference with the baby monitor. Stuff like this isn't new, and many electronic devices can pick up distortion of some kind. Still, to be safe, they brought Oliver downstairs. On the way down, Jessica noticed he was extremely distressed and sweating through his clothes, and when she glanced at the thermostat, the temperature had been cranked up to a dangerous 90 degrees. But before they could process what was happening, the voice came back.
Oh, he was
this
able
time
to
it
do
was
that.
coming through a different Nest camera downstairs in the living area, and it was speaking directly to them. The voice was cursing, hurling racial slurs, and taunting them in real time as it
Of course, racial slurs.
watched them through the live feed. When Arjun looked directly at the lens, the voice asked, "Why are you looking at me? I see you watching me." At that point, Arjun realized someone had hacked into their Nest account, which he used to control every camera, thermostat, and every inch of the security system he had spent thousands of dollars building to protect his family. Arjun's first instinct was to yell back at the camera, but he composed himself and started questioning the intruder through the two-way audio.
Yes, I'm here. Come. I know you're here. Who are you?
He tried to extract information on the hacker's whereabouts, asking who they were and which country they were from.
Who is this? Are you just sitting at your computer there? Into my account? Where are you? Which country?
The hacker went quiet without identifying himself or explaining why he had done any of it.
Yeah, who are you? Come on, be a man. Speak up.
Nothing?
Nothing?
Whoa.
Nothing to say?
The couple disconnected their interior camera in the house and called both the police and Nest customer support. Nest responded by putting the blame on Arjun. They told him the hack had happened because he had reused a password from another site that had been breached, and because he hadn't enabled...
No, ain't no way they're freaking blaming it on him. Can't you like sue the company for that? For freaking not having their security measures, I don't know, like updated or whatever. I'm gonna post a Zomboid video of my group. We all stream together at that day, and it's like a 30-hour footage that I'm cutting. Every person's video being edited by me. Oh, nice. So you're making like a video of each of the groups, like POVs, kind of like mix and match. Each Zomboid session took a bit more than 6 hours, and it was 5 people streaming. Zenki, check DMs. I have something more fun than this. Bro just roasted the video. I'm back again. What did I miss? A whole bunch of stuff, Runic. Basically, more criminal cases, murders and whatnot, and basically all kinds of crazy people. You miss my... that's why I don't use cameras in my house. I don't trust stuff like this. I'm never gonna install cameras inside my house. I mean, on the outside, usually, you know, you're like, I don't really mind them like watching throughout the outside. Well, it still was like not like okay, but yeah. I would never like install cameras inside of my house. There are so many scary hackers in this world. I'm even scared of playing old COD games multiplayer. Bro, I had to brought in the freaking Indian. Not Indian. I read Indian. I mean, he had to freaking bring in the Call of Duty reference. So what did you DM me, Starnes? There are so many. The Indian hacker doesn't interest me. Hold on. Let's not be accusing Indians of this. Let's not be racist. And I'm saying Indian because the person speaking sounded Indian. Wait, what? I didn't even hear the voice properly. Okay, what is this? Time Waster, the Smoking Guns? What? What is this? The Smoking Gun, 1997? Friday photo fun, match the arrestee with their alleged crime. Bro, what the hell is this? We gonna match the freaking guy with... Oh my god. What the hell is this? Let's not be racist. You said Indian out of nowhere. Yeah, because you said it in the freaking messages. I read the messages. And then I saw the word Indian.
Two-factor authentication.
Bro, what is that game? Stars. Match the... Wait, what is this? Match the arrestee with their alleged crime. I don't know if we should play that.
A feature Arjun didn't even know existed. Now, technically they did have a point. Reusing passwords is a real security risk, and two-factor authentication probably would have stopped this. But digging...
Do y'all use, for each of your accounts, a different password? Or not? Do y'all like create a unique password for every single account?
Deeper into this, I found the Sood family weren't the only victims attacked through Nest devices. After researching similar incidents, a dozen more cases just as chilling came up. For example, on the same day the Soods were dealing with their hacker, January 20, 2019, a family in Orinda, California had a fake ballistic missile attack warning come blasting through their Nest camera, telling...
You gotta match the criminal with their crime or weapon. It's so fun. How did you even came up with this? I won't answer that, Zenki. You won't hack me?
And 3 nuclear missiles were heading for Los Angeles, Chicago, and Ohio.
How'd you knew?
It came on like the
I always use a different password. I will never use the same stuff. Smart, smart.
sounds of
Actually
an
smart.
Amber Alert, say, and then a man's voice announced that North Korea had launched 3 intercontinental ballistic missiles toward the United States.
Their young son hid under the living room rug, thinking the country was under attack. And about a month earlier, on December 17, 2018, parents in Houston woke to the haunting sound of a stranger's voice coming from their 4-month-old's nursery, threatening to kidnap their son and ordering them to turn off the bedroom lights.
He turned that camera on and told us, said, turn off the light, and then said, I'm going to kidnap your baby. I'm in your baby's room.
In every single case, Nest responded by blaming the customers. So why did this keep happening?
Bro, freaking sue the hell out of the
quietly
company.
Added two-factor authentication back in 2017 and barely told anyone. Arjun didn't even know the feature existed because Nest never told him. It took until May 2020, well over a year after all of this happened, for the company to finally make it mandatory, which feels like a quiet admission that leaving the security entirely up to the customer was never the right call. But for Arjun, the scariest part wasn't about how the hacker got in. It was how Nest cameras gave no real warning when someone else was watching the feed. A handful of them had a small blue light, but it only switched on when the intruder started talking. A hacker could watch and listen for hours, and the family would never know. The only reason the...
Bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's crazy. Google that. And they're blaming it on the customers as well. I always, you won't hack me, India hacker, be like, hello, you guys. Let's not do all the India stuff and whatnot. Mobster is also from India, so please just let's not make it about race or anything. Hacker saying that they have a nuke going, they was just doing it for fun, bro. But that's still like, that's not okay. At least, and still like for a kid as well.
A hacker could watch and listen for hours, and the family would never know. The only reason the Soods knew they'd been compromised was because the hacker chose to speak. In the end, the hacker was never identified, and no arrest was ever made.
Dang. Yeah, I mean, hackers is are like still, like they are hard to trace. They are hard to trace as well.
On the afternoon of April 23, 2020, Shauna Dottie received a...
Hanabi, it's a meme. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, my bad.
Phone call from our home security company, ADT. They had
called... I mean, for fun, like a psycho. If you go back to the start of the video, you can hear the hacker speak. Really? Where though?
Reusing passwords is a...
Who is this? Are you just sitting at your computer there? Into my account? Where are you? Which
where can you hear it though?
The audio.
Yes, I'm here. Come. I know you're here. Who are you?
He tried...
I don't know what to make up of that. He said, yes, I'm here. Come here.
On the afternoon...
if you think you play the matching game before you leave, lol. Okay, we'll try a game, I guess. Bro, the game looks so foul. There's a video called Your Computer Has a Virus Indian version. Oh, okay, my bad.
2020,
I didn't know that.
Shauna Dottie received a phone call from our home security company, ADT. They had called to tell her that for the last 6 years...
When they first showed the camera light turn on, yeah.
Every dollar she had paid them to keep her family safe had done the exact opposite. Back in 2014, Shauna and her husband Randy were living with their young son in the suburbs of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Why
wanted
do they
the
have
peace of mind to keep an eye on the house from anywhere? ADT's Pulse system with indoor cameras, motion alerts, and a cell phone app sounded like exactly what they were after. A few weeks after they placed the order, a technician from ADT showed up at their front door. He looked at the layout and mounted a wide-angle indoor camera that covered most of the ground floor, the family room, the entryway, the dining area, and the staircase. The lens also reached into the master bedroom and the corner of the bathroom.
Wait, did he just say he pointed into the master bedroom? You're putting a camera inside your bedroom? That's some paranormal activity type of stuff, where they set up all the cameras in the beginning. We can even play it together if you want. It's fine, lol. Do we, Sarns, huh? Now, hey, we still gotta do like one of those devoured like playthroughs sometime. Because I actually need to finish one freaking map. I'm never able to. I was never able to freaking complete a map. Wait, I was gone. Had to change my bedsheet. But what you cooking, Starns, with the new videos? I'm gonna order stuff from McDonald's again. I'm hungry. I'll be back. Bro, this guy Bob
through the app on her phone
doesn't care at all about his freaking diet.
Before he
don't order too much though, Bob, because we know what happened last time.
Left, he told her he needed to.
This guy freaking complains about his stomach hurting after ordering for $50 worth of McDonald's on his own.
Email to the account, only briefly to check if the connection was working. For the next 6 years, the system worked exactly the way it was supposed to, and the Donnies had no reason to think about that afternoon again, until they received that call from ADT on April 23rd, 2020. The employee calling told Shauna that the technician who had installed her camera back in 2014
no, he was the one?
granted himself remote access to it on the installing day, and that access was never removed. He had been using it to view footage from inside the Donnie's
Ain't no
home
way!
ever since.
It was the freaking technician that installed it as well.
When Shauna asked what he had been seeing, the employee had no answers. They couldn't name him and wouldn't say how many times he had logged in.
7 hours is a long time, but we're talking 7 years. You don't know what to think. So you find yourself just trying to go back, like, okay, what were we doing?
I will say, maybe it's only in like movies that I mean, obviously it's in movies most of the time. But even though sometimes these American like houses or house in the US, they from the outside, you know, they seem pretty like easily flammable or maybe cheap. Sometimes they are like very big. I'm actually surprised by sometimes the space of all the houses in the US, or most of the time in like movies. But then again,
this time
doing a movie in a 2x4 or a 3x4 freaking room wouldn't be that interesting, right? What my group doing from Muldrug to West Point, which should have been an easy, but it ended up being so hard and took so long. Is that the one on your like server, your own server? Didn't Bob also order last stream like the veggie burger and spicy burger or whatever he did? He did, bro. Bro is a everyday McDonald's eater. He's like the guy from the video that ate like ate like a Big Mac every single day or something. And he actually got like an award out of it, or like they made a video of him, or he got like a world record. I don't know. It was something like that.
Donnies weren't the only family getting the ADT call. They were one of more than 200 plus. A few weeks earlier, another ADT customer in the Dallas-Fort Worth area was going through their Pulse account settings when they noticed an email attached to it that didn't belong to anyone in the house. Naturally, they called ADT to ask what it was doing there. When the company looked into it, they found that the same email was attached to 220 separate customer accounts across the metropolitan area. And every one of those systems had been installed or serviced by the same technician at some point. Which raised the obvious question: how does one technician end up signed into 220 homes? The answer was buried in ADT's own software. Technicians are allowed to temporarily attach their personal email to a customer's account during install. It's a diagnostic feature meant to verify the camera feed before they leave. So every time
maybe he just forgot to disconnect himself from the device, right?
Or installed a system, he either gave the same diagnostic excuse or didn't bother explaining at all. But he never removed his email, so the Pulse app on his personal phone kept him signed in as a co-owner of these homes. Now, some could argue this was just sloppy work, a tech forgetting to clean up after himself. Once or twice, sure, but more than 200 times is not a coincidence.
Yeah, that's not a coincidence
So how did
anymore.
this slip past ADT for so long? It turned out ADT didn't have any system in place to catch such a massive breach of privacy.
Are you
the company
serious?
never alerted its customers.
A company that is, well, I don't know if their main product is like cameras or security. You would think there's at least, wow, like I don't, wow, really, guys?
And
you would at least think there's like some sort of like way to verify those things.
Even have an
or measure those things. Yes, the streams were in my server. Oh, nice. When is it going to be up though, or when do you expect it to be uploaded?
Automated check flagging the same email showing up on dozens of accounts, which meant he could keep logging in whenever he wanted. In April 2016, the same technician installed a system at the home of a couple with 2 young daughters. The camera covered the living room and the kitchen. Court records would later show he logged into that account 322 times.
What?
At another household, one where 5 children under the age of 18 lived, he logged in 361 times.
Oh my god.
In September 2017, he set up a pulse system for the Preddy family. Their teenage daughter Alexia wasn't comfortable with indoor cameras, and she told her mother this on the day of the installation.
I wouldn't be comfortable with freaking cameras inside my house. Literally. Well, what?
ADT technician assured them that the system was perfectly safe. Years later, when the full scope of the breach came to light, ADT found that he had accessed the Preddy family's live footage almost 100
Sue the
times
company.
during the years Alexia was still a teenager. Court filings would later show the wide-angle lens and its placement allowed him to view her undressed,
Oh
getting ready
my
for
god.
bed, and during moments of physical intimacy. This technician was Telesforo Aviles. He was 35 years old, married, and the father of 5 children.
Married.
He'd been with ADT
And has 5 children. This is disgusting, bro. Y'all know what I said. Y'all know what I said. It's always these freaking older adults that are married, have kids. They subscribe to the OnlyFans stuff and whatnot. I'm telling you guys.
17 years, and by 2020 was working as a senior supervisor in the Dallas-Fort Worth region. On May 18, 2020, Shauna Dottie and Alexia Preddy each filed federal lawsuits against ADT, accusing the company of allowing Aviles to exploit its pulse system and spy on customers through their own home cameras. Soon after, more lawsuits followed from other victims. In the federal case, Aviles admitted that he took note of households with women he found attractive and repeatedly targeted homes of young women and married couples with daughters. He would open the Pulse app on his personal phone, scroll through the list of homes attached to his email, and watch for live footage of any private moments. Across the 4.5 years covered by his federal plea agreement, prosecutors counted more than 9,600 unauthorized logins across roughly 200 accounts. That works out to 5 or 6 logins a day, every day, for over 4 years. Aviles
Every
pleaded
day
guilty
for
to
over
computer
4
fraud
years?
in January 2021 and was sentenced to 52 months in federal prison that June. ADT had revoked his access to all 220 accounts months earlier, but the only person who knew exactly what he had seen and in which homes was Aviles himself.
52 months only.
On the evening of
I feel like it's kind of a short sentence, right? The video will come in either in July or before. Dang. All right. Well, looking forward to it. Once it's there, let me know.
September 30, 2017, a young Dutch woman named Rilana Hamer
Oh, shoot. We got a freaking Dutch case on our hands.
came home from the supermarket and started unpacking her groceries. She lived
Dude was a goon addict. That's what I'm saying, bro. Jeez. It's like fun time. No, I'm joking.
alone
Okay,
in a
we got the
small house.
Netherlands. Look at this beautiful landscape. Look at this beautiful, beautiful flat landscape with like a lot of houses, a lot of density.
in Bremen, a quiet town in the eastern Netherlands, with her dog. Rilana had recently bought a small indoor security camera from her local discount store for around 35 euros. It was a Maxter ACT-IPC01, a white plastic unit.
Bob, do you just call to McDonald's and say the usual and they give you the order? Would you imagine? Bob just calls up the McDonald's. They say, what can I know? What can I order for you, please? The usual. And they just hit him with the, okay, so that's 1 Big Mac, 1 medium fries. We got some barbecue sauce, 9-piece chicken nuggets, and Coca-Cola, am I right? No, I just order it online. I don't have to talk at all. I choose what food I want, then I wait for it. It's simple. Sheesh. And then he goes about his business again. Bro, I never ordered freaking McDonald's in my life. Only takeaway, but probably also because McDonald's isn't that far away from me, which is a bad thing. But
with a motorized base.
It helps that McDonald's have kind of been worse for me, at least. It's kind of been better that it's been worse because I don't order or I don't eat McDonald's as often as I used to. Imagine Zenki is one of the hackers and he's just bragging about it with this video. Don't go there, Starnes. Don't go there. I will eat 500 chicken nuggets. Bro, I once eat that. I mean, probably more people have done that. But I once eat that. What is the biggest that you can get? The 20-piece McChickens, right? The 20-piece McChickens. Yeah, I ate that once in my life. On my own. And then I really felt fat. I basically felt like an American. I also train at home. I don't really get fat. Oh, that's good though. That's good. It's always good to have at least some sort of like training, cardio or whatnot. You're denying your American body type, Zenki?
Rotate across the room. She set up the camera on a shelf in her living room, figuring it would be easy to check on her dog throughout the day. The camera also had a built-in speaker, which let her talk to the dog even when she wasn't home. That evening, she was putting her groceries away when she heard a low, mechanical voice from the living room. When she went to look, she saw the camera rotating on its base, slowly turning back and forth on its own. Her phone was the only thing she used to control it, and that was on her bed in the next room. Figuring it was just an updating glitch, she went back to the kitchen. But a few minutes later, the sound came back. This time, the camera turned and pointed directly at her, and a man's voice came through the speaker. It said, "Bonjour, madam." Staying composed, Rilana asked who was there, but no one answered. To see if the voice would speak again, Rilana moved to the side and noticed that the camera was following her. That's when the voice came through again, this time saying, "Hello, madam. Is everything all right?" She immediately ran across the room and pulled the plug from the socket. Later that evening, a friend came over for dinner. Rilana told her what had happened, and the two of them decided to test the camera again. They placed it back on the table and plugged it in as Rilana held her phone to record. It took less than a minute before the camera rotated on its own and found her again.
Is he gonna talk Dutch?
What did you do?
Soon, the voice came back.
It's not. No.
What?
Get out of my house now. Shut the f up. Shut the f up of my house now. Go away. Hola, señorita. Yeah, f you.
The voice is killing me. Hola, señorita. Oh my god. I ordered food for $41 again on McDonald's. Bro, it's so expensive, bro. What did you even order for $41 for one person? Bro, when I'm with my when I order food or when I get McDonald's with my girlfriend, we don't even order for $40. It's like what? Like 25 to 30 max? Most of the time. My messages are coming through again. You're shadow banned. You're shadow banned, Valentine, for being that gooner again. For a second, I thought you were gonna say 41 people, and I was like, excuse me? How many? I wouldn't be surprised. Bob loves his food. Your last message is our home, Valentine. Damn it, YouTube. A Mexican actor house. Hola, señorita. ¿Cómo estás?
Rilana posted the video on her Facebook account, where it went viral immediately.
Delen alsjeblieft.
Start of the
Share, please.
Next week, Dutch national news had picked up the story.
Oh, we got NOS Journaal, which is like the main source of news in our country.
When a tech journalist looked into Rilana's video days later, the explanation turned out to be disturbingly simple. Every camera the manufacturer shipped came with the same default password, 123.
Oh my god, 123! Ain't no way, bro.
Device ID printed on a sticker underneath each unit. With just those two things and the free app, anyone in the world could connect to any of these cameras, watch the live feed, listen through the microphone, and talk through the speaker. Looking up the manual for this camera,
123, insane freaking hard password to crack.
It does mention that the default password is weak and recommends changing it before use. But nowhere in the app itself, the thing you actually interact with during setup, did it ever tell the users to do that. Few people read the full manual for a €35 camera from a discount store. You just download the app and start. So Rilana never knew that she had to change the password, and she was far from the only one. When the tech journalist tried connecting to other cameras from the same manufacturer, he got into 4 unsuspecting households within minutes, using nothing but the manual and the free app. Each one of those people, just like Rilana, had no idea anyone else was watching.
Dang. So just a cheap little camera from the, what was it, the local dollar store or something, or the secondhand shop? That's crazy. I love it, that's why. 41, damn. That's when I order at the local snack bar. It's like 15 euros and that's still a lot of food. That's what I'm saying, bro. 41 bucks is a lot for one person, bro. What did you even order? Stop looking at me pee and come clean the toilet. It's okay, guys. I speak Spanish too. I'm allowed to say it. Are you, though? I ordered 4 burgers and 2 milkshake. That's why. I mean, we're talking about like 4 Big Macs? Jeez. Milkshake, what you gonna do with 2 milkshake if you're eating a burger? That's what I'm saying. Why 2, though? 1 isn't enough for you? Is it from the Action? It must be from something cheap. It could be from the Action, actually. You down the whole 5 burgers with milkshakes? I just drink it all. After the burgers as a dessert. Yeah, well, that's actually a good one. They all like, if y'all have a milkshake with a burger or with fries or anything, do you drink the milkshake after or before the other stuff?
In late 2010, Ferial Nijam woke up in the middle of the night to heavy metal music playing at full volume through every speaker in her house. Confused and disoriented, she didn't know how it had turned on. And despite her trying, the volume level didn't go down, as if someone else was controlling the sound system. But there was no one home except her that night. Ferial was a Canadian fashion model who had spent most of her adult life around cameras. She had walked at the Berlin Film Festival in the mid-2000s and built a career where she was looked at on her own terms. By her late 30s, she was in a long-term relationship with a partner who lived in the States. He was, in her words, quietly controlling. According to her, he wouldn't just touch base with a text. He would call me on FaceTime and ask to say hi to the person I was with. At the time, she thought it was attentiveness, and she trusted him enough that she eventually moved into his home in the US. It was an impressively designed house with a high-tech smart home system, which covered everything.
Wow, they even have the smart lock. I've seen those.
It was an impressively designed house with a high-tech smart home.
I would never install like one of these locks on my door. What if you forget the password? Then you're basically screwed. You can't even enter the door anymore or enter the room. Unless you, I mean, there's probably like some sort of like emergency system. Knowing me, I would just literally forget about the passwords. Oh, man. What burgers, Bob? Like large burgers? Imagine he says veggie burgers. It is veggie burgers. He literally eats veggie burgers. Always after is like a dessert, nice and sweet. Yeah, that's true. I agree. It's like similar as with ice cream, right? You always eat ice cream after your dinner. If you eat it before, you're cursed. You're cursed, my boy. Eating veggie burgers is... Hey, yo, chill. A fish burger. Oh, it's the filet of fish, right? Damn, is it today Bob Roast Day? What did I... I like how we're all just ripping into Bob. Bro just ordered McDonald's. It's all good, bro. I like how we just randomly just ripped into him for ordering McDonald's. Oh man. Whenever I eat a burger, I like to drink it with a Pepsi or something fat like that. If I'm gonna be fat and eat such fat burgers, might as well go. I mean, that's true. That's true. That's to say, I never get these people that order like a salad at McDonald's. Like, what are you trying to prove? Are you trying to prove that you're like eating healthy? That you have like salad, like with your burger or your fries? Like, nah. If you go to McDonald's, if you're already down bad to go to McDonald's and freaking eat whatever you want, just go all in. Double down, triple down, even. I couldn't possibly eat a fish burger. Nah, me too. I don't really like the filet of fish. I can't really see what it... Nah, I don't know. I don't really see the... I've never heard someone say, oh, let me just... what do I get today for McDonald's? Let me get the filet of fish. I literally, like, no joke, I have never freaking heard someone say that in my life. It's the same as with... I don't know if this is a Dutch thing, but don't you have the Mac Croquette over here as well? Yeah. Okay, so this is also, I think this is a burger that they still have in the Netherlands. Basically, this is like a burger, a deep fried burger that has like ragu. What is ragu in English? If anybody in the Netherlands can help me with that. But like this one, the Mac Croquette, which is a Dutch-based burger, and the filet o fish. Never in my life have I heard someone, oh, let me order that. But hey, if you like fish, then I guess it could be good. Guys, I love you. I love how we crack jokes all the time. These guys get my humor, and I love it. It depends on what side of humor starts from you. I can't help it, guys. I love McDonald's. Hey, all fairness to you, bro. I'm more of a KFC or Burger King guy. But I will say my girlfriend loves or prefers McDonald's over the other ones. So that's why I sometimes still eat McDonald's. 1400 kilocalorie of a meal and then take a Coke Zero instead of a normal one. They got 100 kilocalorie. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It doesn't make sense. Just take the regular. Just go all in for burgers or fries and whatnot. Don't order a freaking salad. Like, nah. that salad ain't gonna save you. Or that zero drink is not gonna save you, buddy. I ordered 2 milkshakes because sometimes they fill it half. That's why. Bro cracked the code, guy. He cracked the code, guys. He got it. McDonald's doesn't fill your cups with enough drinks. Just order 2. Problem solved, guys. Problem solved. It's easy as that. Bob's like fish because it reminds him of a... Hey, yo, chill out. Bob is just a goon. And nah, you're talking about the wrong person. It's the other one. Mr. V. Van Bal. We don't have a McDonald's nearby, living in the middle of nowhere. Good. Be glad. That's... having a McDonald's near you, you're way more easily to say that, oh, let me just quickly drive past McDonald's, get a burger, or I don't want to cook dinner tonight, so we can take away McDonald's. If you don't have any McDonald's nearby, it's only a good thing. Only eat McDonald's if I'm in the city. I have a Burger King like 4 blocks away.
Everything on the property, from lights, heating, blinds, security cameras, to the sound system. All of it ran through a single integrated platform her partner had set up.
TP-Link is a pretty like useful
career around cameras and production sets.
System.
Living with so much technology around didn't feel unusual. But sometime during the 2010s, the relationship started to fall apart. Her partner moved to a different city, while Ferial stayed behind in his house, with his credentials still running everything around her. And that's when things started getting strange. She'd fall asleep at a normal hour and get jolted awake by sound blasting through every room.
What?
You're asleep in the middle of the night, and all of a sudden, over the sound system, comes this blaring music that startles you awake.
Oh my god! Put it at max volume. Put on the Root Sandstorm.
Feed, it would cut out just as suddenly as it had started, and she'd be left standing in a dark, silent house with no explanation. Soon enough, the lights started to behave in a similar way. She'd switch them off for bed.
Smart technology, guys. Smart lighting, smart thing. It only takes one security breach. And you can be out of freaking lights or whatever.
They'd flick back on, sometimes flickering for several seconds before stabilizing.
It is all fun and games until the system gets freaking hacked.
She would experience the same
having
with
everything
TVs,
connected,
which would switch on by themselves and shut back off as soon as she got near the remote. At first, she tried telling herself it was just the system acting up. It was a big house, and every inch of it was wired with technology, so some level of glitching was expected. But even then, she couldn't help shake off the feeling that something was off. In an interview with CBC's Marketplace, she said, "It's almost as if the house is haunted." Sadly, in a way, she was right. It started when she began receiving messages from her ex. They mentioned things he should have never known, like what she had been wearing earlier or who she had been with when she walked through the front door.
What the hell?
He'd been using every piece of smart tech in the house to watch her and remind her he was still there. On more than one occasion, he'd also sent her direct threats.
Would you... What?
I need you to stop manipulating the lights.
I'm not touching the lights.
What is wrong? Just can you please leave me alone? You're not supposed to call me. I'm not bothering you.
I am going after the dogs. And then I'm going after you.
For someone who had spent her entire life controlling exactly how and when she was seen, being watched in her own home without ever knowing felt
That's
like a
scary,
different
though.
kind of violation entirely.
He was able to monitor me, using our security surveillance cameras, even remotely, from thousands of miles away.
Ferial tried to shut the system down, but her partner had configured everything from the start and held all the login credentials. Left with no other options, she contacted the local police and explained everything. Unfortunately, the response she received only deepened the sense that she had nowhere left to turn. The home wasn't in her name, and as far as the responding officers were concerned,
It definitely
that
was her
where the matter
ex-partner,
ended.
let's be real.
In the end, Ferial realized that her only real way out was to leave the home behind entirely. She gathered her dogs and made her way to a local women's shelter.
Oh, dang. That was it.
On the 8th of August,
Dang, these stories are so unsatisfying. Purely because we don't know who's behind it. Man. The bread is the... Oh my god, wow. I forgot that freaking message to read out. Bro, if my drink came half, I crash out so hard. You know what I freaking hate sometimes about McDonald's? I know they always make the joke of like the ice cream machine being broke at McDonald's. To be honest, that never happened over here. That has never happened over here at my McDonald's. But like, you know what I freaking hate? If you order a freaking a McFlurry, and the McFlurry when you get it, it's like already like it melted like to the point where it's literally like a freaking drink almost. It's always so, bro. I freaking crash out so hard when it happens. This troll put on music when she's asleep. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of funny. Just blasting freaking hard rock or rock music throughout the ears on max volume. That would scare the shit out of me. I wonder what this guy in the video considers a normal hour to go to sleep. I played Baby Shark and blasted. Bro, I would have blasted the Root Sandstorm. I think it was Screaming Cat. He's also awake all night. Bro, Screaming Cat has the worst freaking sleep schedule ever. I thought I was bad with like going to bed at like 2 a.m. You know, around like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. every day. Most of the time. Then I met freaking Screaming Cat. Who goes to bed at like what, 7 or 8? Now I'd probably turn on and off the lights, fake being a ghost, and play voices from time to time, and play big touch for her to think someone is falling and knocks. You're so evil, SARS. There's this psycho on Instagram that made a device to make his girlfriend think she has schizophrenia by placing speakers inside the walls and cars. What? On Instagram as well? Like what? As a prank? Crazy but really dang. That's kind of crazy. That's why I don't trust companies with the cameras and lights and stuff. I mean, so, let me just say that from what I would do is just only buy from reputable brand. I know it's not like 100% like secure that nothing will happen, but just make sure that I guess you buy just from reputable brands. Like, what is a popular lighting system? Samsung UE or U or something. It's hella expensive, but I think that one is like pretty popular. Govee is another good one. Govee is like a good one as well. You have like tons of freaking light companies or speaker companies or whatever. Ring for cameras, Ring is a pretty popular one. Although after watching this video, you know, I might double check. I only trust McDonald's. You only trust McDonald's, huh? The McFlurry. Wait, what? You never heard of a McFlurry? McFlurry. Oh my god, I freaking missed. I didn't even read the thing that you said. Yeah, as a prank, bro. If there's one thing I hate is freaking prank culture on YouTube. You know the era where they would only do like pranks on YouTube and stuff? And it would get like, the pranks would get like so out of line. What is a popular lighting system? The sun, I'm pretty sure.
It's 2020.
You're not wrong.
A woman named Brenda took a Ring doorbell camera off its mount and brought it in.
Here we go. The Ring doorbell. Just as I was freaking praising the Ring doorbell system.
Inside her house to charge. It was something she did every few weeks.
Hell no.
The camera ran on a battery, and recharging it was a routine
Bro,
part of
we have a similar one.
This time, she noticed something strange about the camera. the blue ring of light around the lens was on.
Oh, no,
On
wait, we
Ring
have a different
doorbell,
one.
That light only comes on when the camera is actively streaming, recording, or in the middle of a live two-way call
looks
with
similar,
someone
though.
signed into the account. None of which should have been the case while the device was unmounted and sitting indoors. So
No,
Brenda picked it up
not the Ring doorbell. No.
see what was going
Guys, am I cooked? Am I cooked, chat?
on. And that's when she started hearing a voice coming through the doorbell speaker.
It's you.
Why do these hackers talk in such a goofy way? It's you.
It's you.
Okay. It's still kind of terrifying.
Someone was speaking through the device in real time. And by the way they were laughing, it's clear that it wasn't someone who'd accidentally connected to the wrong camera. Whoever it was, they were taking their time terrorizing Brenda.
How? How do they get into the camera?
Brenda pulled
Please explain it in the video.
out her phone and managed to record only some of the interaction. But the voice went silent within a few seconds, and the blue light switched off shortly after. She later posted the video on her TikTok account. The comment section was flooded with people who couldn't believe how easily someone could gain access to a Ring device, along with others sharing similar experiences. One comment read, "I have cameras all over my house, and I have one in my bedroom."
Why in the bedroom again? I don't understand it. Not in the bedroom, bro. If you have cameras in your house, okay, you know, just do it. But I guess in the bedroom, don't you want to have privacy anymore in your own house? Like, even if you, let's just say you are the only one that has access to it.
And a few days after I got them, I was
Why in your bedroom? You're being recorded 24/7. If it's not for someone that has hacked into your cameras, it's still kind of weird.
sleeping and got woken up by someone snoring through my camera. And it wasn't
Wait,
no one in
what?
my house because I didn't log into anyone else's phone yet because I just set them up. By now, the pattern should sound familiar. Just like the Maxter cameras Rilana had set up in her living room, a doorbell camera is only as secure as the password protecting the account behind it. A weak or reused password is often all it takes. And if you
So
look
it's
at
just
every case in this
bro, I might double check my freaking password after this
video, this exact vulnerability keeps showing up, regardless of the brand, price, or how trusted the company is. So that's also what most likely happened here. Now, as I was researching this case, I found multiple people in the comments suggesting a different theory. They argued that what Brenda heard wasn't a stalker at all, but signal interference from someone else's baby monitor bleeding into her doorbell, and that the voice
What?
on the audio sounded a lot like a dad talking to his baby. This theory sounds plausible at first. Wireless devices do cross signals all
Bro, I swear that has happened to me once before. I am not kidding. When I had my previous car had like a cheap, you know those cheap adapters when you don't have like Bluetooth in your car and you have like those cheap adapters that you plug into the what is it, like the smoke like plug, the smoke plug in your area where you can like light up your cigarettes, or I don't know, it gets like really hot. I can't really, I don't really know what the name is in English, but you basically plug in the cheap device and it would like get access to Bluetooth in your car, or like you can listen to music, basically your own music if your car doesn't have like Bluetooth or whatever. I swear what happened to me once, I was driving and I was like listening to music and someone else, their like phone call was like interfering with the signal because I think it uses like radio signals or whatever, and it's like it like literally interfered with my signal when I was listening to music, and I was able to hear the freaking person's like phone call. And I think it was like a car like in front of me or behind me, because as soon as I went away from like a certain car, I can't really remember exactly where the other car was, like the signal went away. That was like so weird. So I know that like these things can happen, like the signal interference and stuff. I don't really need camera because I live in apartment lol. I mean, we only have a camera for our door. So whenever because me and my girlfriend order a lot of like stuff online, so we quite often have the mailman at our doorstep, and we're not always at home. So because some of these times that the PostNL has our main like delivery thing, or DHL, the times are like very, very annoying. So yeah. The only things I've connected to my phone are Govee lights. Yeah, Govee lights are also a pretty good brand as well. I was running back upstairs and I almost tripped. I stepped too close to the edge and I was running up. Bro, that happened to me so many times when I was a kid.
All the time, and analog base.
Starnes almost dropped his McDonald's. He ain't Bob. He almost dropped his glizzies. I know Starnes lost his hot dogs. Oh, yo, pause, by the way.
TV monitors are notorious for picking up.
Or his empanadas as well. His Argentinian empanadas. I will never use all cameras. I want privacy, bro. I mean, for your door, I guess it's okay, but not in my house. No way I'm ever going to install cameras inside my house.
Audio from neighboring devices operating on similar radio frequencies. But Ring devices aren't analog based. They work by connecting to your home's Wi-Fi network and streaming audio and video through Ring's own encrypted servers. So any sound that comes through the doorbell speaker has to be sent through the Ring app first, by someone logged into the account. In other words, for a man's voice to come through Brenda's doorbell speaker clearly and in full conversation, someone had to be on the other end of the Ring app with full access to her device.
Dang. Well, what a way to end the freaking video with a freaking Ring doorbell. So guys, what is the main thing that we learned from this video? I guess always make sure to have strong passwords because passwords are the main reason I think hackers can get into you. Don't click on suspicious links on the internet or in your mail. And freaking, I guess, use unique passwords for all of your accounts. I'd rather be bleeding than drop my food. That's what I'm saying, bro. Food is holy. I care way too much about food to be dropping that stuff. We got the 5-second rule, right? When you drop something on the ground. As dirty as the ground is. When I was a kid, because now you can't run all that. This guy. This freaking guy. Hot dogs prices went up and now I'm not buying them as often. And that sucks. The same with IKEA, bro. The IKEA hot dogs used to be even less than €1, I think. And now they're what, like €1.25 or something? The same with, bro, it's the same with the hamburger or the cheeseburger from McDonald's. Match the suspect with their crime, bro. We might do it for another time. We might do it for another time. It's already getting late. I still want to eat some ramen noodles probably. And then do some editing. Chat, support my game. We learned to never use cameras inside our house. Also true. Also true. 3 likes and Zenki had to get on a call with me to play the game. Nah. Another time, Starnes. Another freaking time. It was a good stream though. We did some chill video watching and stuff. So yeah. Can you watch MW4 stuff? Bro did not pay attention at the beginning of the stream. I literally watched gameplay of MW4, but I guess let me just go ahead and watch it once again. But there's like no real good trailer of gameplay though. Let's watch it from Mr. Dalek JD.
We just got off.
And then we'll wrap it up. Since Bob didn't pay attention at the beginning. I'm joking, bro.
First look at Modern Warfare 4 multiplayer.
Also, did they remove Omni movement?
Gameplay footage and a surprise showcase of the new movement systems in the game. So let's look at the footage, break it down, and give you my thoughts and opinions from someone who got to play the multiplayer last week and has used all of these movement systems. In total, we have about 26 seconds of gameplay here, and I'll be breaking down each bit of movement in excruciating detail. So drop a like rating, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and
why does it look so choppy?
Let's dive in. So the footage begins by someone jumping from a car's roof onto this balcony that overlooks this middle building, and immediately you can notice the mantle speed onto the balcony was quicker than MW2. The player
Bro, there's gonna be some real sweats in this game.
And upon landing, instantly slides. There is no delay between these movements once the player lands, and a detail you might not notice is that the player also is in tack stance whilst they're sliding, and it's a full-on slide because their left leg actually sticks out. Now, for a little bit of context of the map they're playing as well, this is the Mumbai multiplayer map that I got to play during the playtest, and this B-roll showcases this map, and hopefully will give you a little bit of an idea on where this player is on the map, as they are right bang in the middle of the map. Pretty cool stuff. But the next clip is really impressive because we're on the multiplayer map Silkworm, and this player is running down from a staircase. And as they reach the bottom, they immediately slide forwards. You can see there is...
That's not too bad though. A slide into a prone state, I would say is pretty acceptable. Thanks, bro. You are the best. You don't have to say it, Bob. Your Omni movement is removed in MW3. Thank God. Thank God it is removed. I hated the freaking Omni movement. You could do some nasty plays with Omni movement, but other than that, I was not a fan of it. MW4 looks amazing. It's already better than Slop of 7.
Before they are on their back in the Supine Prone,
Let's hope
which is
it is.
that new movement mechanic where you can instantly slide into prone on your back, but you retain full movement and control of your weapon. Instantly after, the player starts running again, and again there is very little
Okay, then we have the slide over the car.
ground before they get back
That's
up.
not too
We
bad.
then get a showcase of that new immediate mantle slide, which to me is the most impressive part of the new movement set, where you instantly mantle slide over pieces of cover like these car hoods. It's not an extra button prompt to do that.
It is, I will say, you can already tell this is going to be a fast-paced, moving Call of Duty, which... You know, it is, you know, what they're doing nowadays. I just wish it was more dumbed down, but then again, I'm gonna abuse the frick out of this, probably. If they give you the options, then why not? Why not use it?
Automatically do that when you are running and mantling over objects like that, which is really awesome. And we see this same mechanic again with this tank on the multiplayer map Lotus, and then we get a showcase of the new pipe climbing mechanic, where as you can see, it is incredibly fluid and quick. It's very similar to that of Mirror's Edge, which is the really awesome parkour game where you can see...
So would this be like only for the pipelines on walls?
The similarities there.
Or can you like climb walls in general?
In the pipe climbing, and just how quickly you go from the pipe climb, instantly mantle onto the roof, and make your way into the second floor of this building as a really cool flanking route that people might not necessarily expect. And that is something that is across a ton of multiplayer maps, as well as the kill block map that we played in Gunfight, which has over 500 variations where pipe climbing is quite necessary for certain flanks. The next clip then shows what the supine slide into prone looks like in third person. You can see the speed of it.
It's pretty fast, I will say that.
Absolutely zooming across the ground there as they make their way into that supine slide, and you can see that the player has a great degree of control
reverse
in where
animation.
they can aim. It's not quite Omni movement, but you can see that they aren't necessarily restricted once they are on their back. It's very instant.
That might be problematic though. I'm not gonna lie, if you are able to like slide, go into prone, and have your gun ready at all times, who knows? Who knows? Let's hope they don't remaster MW2 2009 maps. I want new, unique maps. Oh man, where is all the MW2 hate coming from, Bob? Dang. Hello, comedian. Hello, how are you doing, comedian? How are you doing, bro? It's like Assassin's Creed, I like that. Assassin's Creed, what are you saying? Assassin's Creed? Or Mirror's Edge, more like. MW4 movement is already better than BO6 and BO7 and classic COD games. True. It is actually. It does look like pretty decent. Hey Anthony, wait, I had to switch to Twitch because YouTube was bugging. Oh, that was you. It's salty. Dang. Witty, or should I call you Anthony now? How are you doing? What up, Mitos? What up, Mitos? Welcome in. Why is everybody popping in when I was just about to anti-stream?
For them to suddenly change their aim.
How are you guys doing? How was your weekend? Is it also as hot as it is over here in the US? Anthony? It's like over here is like around like 25 degrees, which is insane. Hello, comedian. I just want you to know that you're a stand-up guy. And crickets is all we heard. I mean, in MW4, you can climb like in Assassin's Creed games, right? It's more similar to Mirror's Edge. You could look up Mirror's Edge, the game. The game is like a first-person like parkour game. All fine. What about you? All good on my end too, Mitos. Just been surviving the heat. We had a barbecue today. We had some nice ribs, some chicken thighs, and we had some. What else did we have? We had some shrimps as well. and it was pretty good. Some baguettes. I'm in Virginia, so weather is super unstable. It could be hot in winter here. Oh, and it has been, really. Yeah, it's been. It feels like we have been hit by a freaking heat wave the past couple of days in the Netherlands. Like 25 degrees. At one point it was even like 30 degrees or so.
Mantling over this car, it is near instant, and here we get another look at the tack sprint, which activates pretty quickly on from this point, where again they slide over cover again, but this time they're not sliding from it where they're running face onto it, they're actually running to it from the side, which looks even slicker than if you were running face on. Then head inside this convenience store, and again it shows you just how long you are in tack sprint for. It also shows that your tack sprint isn't interrupted when you do mantle slide. Then right near the end of the clip, we see the player also slide and then get back up as well, which confirms that there is some element of slide cancelling, but it is nowhere near as overpowered.
Oh god,
as
we
it
got
was
slide cancelling.
in Modern Warfare 19 and Warzone 1. Overall, I think this is a really great demonstration of the movement within Modern Warfare 4 multiplayer. I would really like to know what your opinion is in the comments below, because this does look really slick and really fluid, but
it definitely looks better than Black Ops 7 with the whole wall running and jumping off of it. That looked just dumb. We had some hey yo, calm down, you freaking racist. Maybe MW4 will be better than BO1 and BO2. BO1 and BO2, that's a hard one though. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell because of the Atlantic Ocean. What game is this? This is the first footage that we see from the new Modern Warfare 4 game, the new Call of Duty, which Call of Duty hasn't had a good reputation as of recent years, I would say. Maybe they're gonna deliver with the new game, which is coming out in October. But yeah, what have you guys been playing as of lately, Anthony? And Midos, if you played some games. MW4 is so unique. I'm hyped for that game, bro. I'm not going to be hyped for that game purely because I want to see some gameplay first.
Just something
And I don't want to be disappointed
here
again.
that isn't going to impress everyone, and I would love to know because it could be used as feedback for Infinity Ward to improve the movement even more. We do get to see a showcase of 3 different guns within this. I don't actually recognize what the first gun is in this clip, but the second is we get to see a look at the MP7, which is the Vel 46 returning from MW2. In the third clip, we get to see the M4, which is returning,
the M4.
which is a classic Modern Warfare
I really like the
weapon.
M4
And we get
always.
to see
Such
a more
a
extended look at
cool
the Vel
gun.
46 as well in some other areas of the Silkworm multiplayer map. That's not all that was showcased within this gameplay footage, because we also got to see some monitor screens showing other elements of multiplayer, including a creator class menu. Now, I actually recreated this for a video I shared yesterday on my thoughts on multiplayer. It looks identical to what I saw when I played, but we have a new vertical layout for the creator class where you can see we have our operator choice at the top. And if you weren't aware, there is a new change now where you can assign a specific operator to each custom class slot. So if you wanted to run a sniper loadout for a multiplayer game, but wanted to run an operator that has a ghillie suit skin, you can assign specifically that operator to that class. And then
that's pretty cool.
Class,
so an operator is not tied to your all classes anymore. You just select an operator per class. That's pretty sick, I would say. Like you could attach or assign a ghillie suit operator with a sniper, for example. Interesting. Back in the game with Call of Duty. I might. I don't know if I will stream it since I hate streaming Call of Duty. Bro, before I started Zenki, this channel, I actually uploaded some YouTube videos about me grinding or doing highlights in on MW3 2023, where I grinded the mastery camo. Let's just say I got some quite negative comments on that. So Call of Duty is not fun to stream. Since my new user is comedian, can I tell you guys a joke? Only if it's funny. Go for it, bet. Will you remember me in 3 seconds? What? I don't know. 3 hours? What? Wait, what is the joke? I know I laughed, but I'm laughing at confusion. Because I'm confused. What? Of course we will remember you in 3 seconds. 3 hours? Probably as well. Well, MW4 campaign and multiplayer are interesting, and it will have DMZ. And the new co-studio head is called Mark Grigsby. He was a OG COD dev. He worked at COD 4 2007. It will be interesting to see what they're cooking. I wasn't really the biggest fan of DMZ. It wasn't also the worst, but yeah. Gonna eat some instant noodles now? Hell yeah. Hell freaking yeah. It's a joke. Just keep saying yes. Yes.
You can assign a
What a
completely
joke.
different operator, and I believe you can also change
3 years? Yes.
these whilst you are mid-match. We have our primary weapon, our secondary weapon, then a dedicated melee weapon slot, which is your combat knife. Then we have our equipment and field upgrade.
I don't think so. Okay, so knock knock. Who's there? Oh my god, is the one and only Stars alive? He is alive. He is actually alive. My food will come in 11 minutes. Let's go. Wait, you haven't even received your McDonald's yet? I thought this whole time you already finished your dinner.
But then at the bottom, you have
Bro
your
still needs
free
to get
perk.
his freaking... He still needs to get his freaking McDonald's order. That's crazy. You don't remember me? What? You don't remember me who? What?
But then on
I don't know about that one, Anthony.
the right side of the
I have no... Wait, what? Maybe it's because of the chat, you know?
screen, you also have your 3 kill streaks, where it shows the name of the streak, what it does, and then also the amount of kills required in order for you to unlock that streak and use it within a game of multiplayer. And then you also have your operator, which is to the right. And I think this is a really clean menu. I think it's about...
It looks pretty cool. And the fact that you can assign a unique operator, it's pretty sick, I would say.
Layout, but it does look really, really slick. I would love to know your opinions in the comments.
Zenki, you didn't get the joke. You're just a dummy. I probably am. I probably am. I probably am. I'm sorry, Anthony. Kinda. I am dead. I'm just talking from hell. I'm like in purgatory actually. MW4 will surpass MW2 and MW3 and beyond. Hold on now, Bob. Hold on now. You think your squinted eyes will make you smarter? This guy, I should ban you. I should ban you on all platforms. You shouldn't only be banned on Twitch, but also on YouTube.
New create a class screen, and then we also get to see a moment where it's really blurred, but there's a monitor behind one of the developers talking. We can see a first look at the HUD for Modern Warfare 4 multiplayer, which matches what I saw when I played it. We can see that it is very clean. We have the mini map in the top left, the compass in the top
I mean, very clean. What do we call clean nowadays? It just looks like
middle, and then
all the
in
other
the
Call of
bottom right,
Duties.
we just have a rectangle that showcases your ammo and then your reserve ammo. The numbers being the same size, we also have your lethal and tactical, then floating above it, you have your field upgrade, and then you have a bar to showcase your progress towards earning your 3 assigned kill streaks. Going back to the gameplay footage, it was very quick, but it also showcases 3 multiplayer maps in total. The first one that I obviously dived into earlier in the video is Mumbai, where we have a look at the B-roll here for Mumbai.
Wait a second. Isn't this the map that was earlier in one of the Call of Duties?
You can see here in the video.
That looks
is
very
Mumbai,
familiar.
where we have a look at the B-roll.
This looks like oh no, wait, actually it's different.
Here for Mumbai, where you can see it is quite a colorful map. There
Oh, my battery is down. Need to go. See y'all later. No worries, Mitos. We're also gonna be wrapping it up. We're also gonna be wrecking up. Wow, everyone is here. Hello, Runic. Welcome back. I always come back.
There's a lot of sort of
Hopefully your dispute will gonna get... No, I'm joking.
paint colors that have been thrown around on the ground here. It's quite an urban map, and it was a medium-sized map where a lot of the gunfights were actually focused on this middle house that the player is sprinting across the sort of balcony rooftop of. And then also to the left, there is a market where there was a lot of gunplay that happened here, where players would hide in between the stalls within this sort of market area. And there was also some outskirts around the actual market itself.
I'll have to see like actual gameplay from a map. I'm just hoping, like, maps are one of the most important things for me to like about a Call of Duty. If the map sucks, then that's already like a big downside. Like, the gameplay could be good, but if the maps are terrible designs, you know, then it's still, in my opinion, not enjoyable.
Running around the edges of. The second multiplayer map we get to see, where we see the...
Okay, this is all like repeated stuff. Good coverage though by Mr. Derek JD. But we are gonna be wrapping it up, ladies and gents. It has been a nice 3.5 hour stream. So yeah, let me just wrap it up for y'all. Zenki, just keep streaming at this point. Guys, let's all bully Zenki into streaming for more time. Guys, if y'all want longer streams, go ahead and support it by liking the stream, sharing the stream. No, I'm joking. You don't have to share it. But, you know, if I ever get to do this full time, which I don't see in the foreseeable future, but who knows what can happen, I'll probably do longer streams. But for now, guys, it has been great. It has been good. I enjoy what we're doing right now. And yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy it too, obviously. We are all here. How nice. This COD game will also be better than classic COD games, bro. I have faith for NW4. I mean, I'm hoping all of the things that you're saying and praising about the game is true. So who knows? Who knows? We'll have to find out. Maybe I'll become a full-time Call of Duty streamer. No, never. Never in my life, by the way. Never in my life. Those days are behind me. I might purchase I might buy the new Call of Duty. I don't know if I would ever play Call of Duty as much as I did back in the day. You know what that guy, you know that, guys, is like saying, that's only you. That's a you problem, Stars, for thinking that. If you were to pronounce it as you read it. Guys. I don't know what to tell you. Alright, anyways, enough yapping. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. As always, let me quickly check when the next couple of streams will be. Let me quickly check what the schedule is looking for. The schedule is looking like. What day is it? Damn, we are already in June, ladies and gents, almost. What the hell? Why did this year go so fast? Like, we're already freaking in the middle of the year. I feel like the year has just begun, but maybe that's just me. GG Zenki, I will be leaving. No worries, Valentine. We'll also be wrapping it up. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you dream about me tonight. Never. In my wildest dreams. Stars. The next stream probably will be probably Tuesday will be the next stream, and then we will be back on Friday again. So Tuesday will probably be a stream, then we'll be back on Friday, and Saturday and Sunday we'll have to see what the schedule is. So yeah, only 4 months to go and MW4 will come out. I'm excited for that game. Let's hope it's gonna be good. I'll be watching you sleep like those camera hackers, bro. I'm gonna check my password after the stream for my Ring app. If you hear a sound, don't worry, it was me eating your food. Hola, señorita. You know that some streamers I follow actually dream. Hey, yo. Okay, hold on. Pause. Big pause. That's kind of weird. We're gonna wrap it up though. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. Everyone have a great rest of your morning, rest of your day, rest of your evening, wherever you all may are. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya. 4 months to go and I'll be able to appeal on Twitch. GG's.